Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in positive territory once again, a day after the S&P 500 closed at an all-time high, closing above that 3,700 level for the first time ever. Both the NASDAQ and the Dow in positive territory as well. The Dow was up 104 points, closing just slightly below an all-time record high, but did actually reach a high intraday before closing just slightly lower. We saw optimism return as the UK became the first country to roll out their vaccination program for COVID-19. People started receiving the vaccine in the UK yesterday. So optimism surrounding vaccine-related stocks we mentioned throughout the day. All eyes on the IPO market today. Obviously, DoorDash today. We have Airbnb coming tomorrow. We'll talk all about DoorDash, how we're going to approach trading it coming up whenever they do get the shares open for us to trade. Chewy shares to look at this morning as well after earnings. And we're going to talk about GameStop as well, trading sharply lower after earnings. It's Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see nicely positive here right across the board. India and Japan leading the way, more than 1% for both. Korea down there as well, 2%. Let's go over to Europe and see how things are shaping up. More positivity here. Germany leading the way so far, 0.9%. You can see Swiss market down there, 0.5%. We have Turkey up about 1.6%. We'll shift over one more time and have a look at North American futures. Yeah, the NASDAQ kind of lagging here. We were positive, but now down 0.08%. The TSX futures here in Toronto pointing to a 0.2% positive start. Bitcoin's down 3% this morning. We have crude oil positive and gold back in negative territory so far. Good morning, guys. It is the day. It is DoorDash day. We are all very excited if you haven't noticed yet. DoorDash, as I said, today. We have Airbnb tomorrow. I mean, lots to talk about when it comes to how we're going to approach these things this morning. We have an hour to do so before the market even opens. But yeah, going to be an exciting day.
Absolutely. And this is why traders live for events like this, right? So whether it's going to be you get these little balance days like Tesla's going to come up, and of course Airbnb tomorrow. Today is DoorDash. It's about the interest level in the IPO business that I'm sure most people are familiar with here in terms of DoorDash, and I think that adds to a little bit of the appeal. For me, this is more of a trading opportunity than anything else because liquidity is going to be gigantic, especially off of that open, and we'll be leveraging some of the tools that we have here when we discuss this and when we eventually trade it. Whether or not it happens on the show, this is up to New York Exchange when they can open this puppy up. There's a lot of interest. We've seen when these things get delayed a little bit, but we'll certainly have a look at the imbalance locator and some indicated opens when those start rolling in, and then we can formulate plans from there. But, Sean, I feel like Snowflake was what? 12:30, something like that. It was certainly after lunch. There's no guarantees when it comes to DoorDash today.
Yeah, no, I think you'll have to look at when I know Palantir was at 1:30. I think Snowflake, I'm pretty sure we had it when we were on the show because I remember yelling to Gus, remember?
Oh, yeah, you're right. That one, Gus was Snowflake. Palantir was later.
Yeah, Palantir. So anyways, regardless, I hope that it comes before 11:30 and we'll be able to trade it. Look, I'm excited for DoorDash. It's over 50% of the delivery business. I was reading up on it last night. I tweeted something out as well. Over 50% of the business there in the States using DoorDash for home delivery. So I think it could be good. I mean, it's kind of a tech play. I don't know. We're more excited for Airbnb tomorrow, but DoorDash going to come out today priced at 102. And let's just look at the level 2 here. This is what it looks like on our screen right here. Nothing. So you can see there's no trade happen yet. These are just orders going into the book. You can see here, as Brendan discussed, we'll be going over this all day because it doesn't change until it opens. So this will grow or shrink. Right now, 440,000. Actually, not as much interest as I thought there would be. There's nothing paired off yet. So as soon as 9:30 hits, I guess the NYSE and their DMMs, market makers, etc., will get to work on pricing Dash, and we'll see what happens, Brendan. It's going to be an exciting day. Needless to say, it's a snowy one here in Toronto, guys. It's +1, but I think it was about an inch or two of snow. I don't know.
Unexpectedly snowy one to start this morning. None of us were really anticipating that. But yeah, we're going to have to keep a close eye on that imbalance locator as we get closer to the open of DoorDash. Stay with us, guys. We will talk all about how we're going to actually approach trading it, what type of orders, what we want to look for, what we want to see when it does open to signal positivity and strength. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's jump into how traders here at Day Trade the World fared yesterday. Nice numbers once again yesterday coming out of some Canadian markets here to start things off, but NASDAQ, New York, OTC market down there, $71,000. Yeah, Europe, number 2 here, $28,000 coming out of these markets in Europe. NASDAQ again, New York, all the way down to number 5, more Canadian content here, $15,000. So another great day for the top 10 traders here at Day Trade the World. Before we get into stock-related talk this morning, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brendan, and hello, guys. I wish you all a great trading day. Please support, subscribe to our channel, share the link with friends, and hit thumbs up. Let's get it started, Brendan.
Let's indeed get it started. I was just looking at DraftKings, guys. I saw a note on DraftKings talking about the province of Ontario, our home province. Yeah, I haven't actually pulled it up there, but the province of Ontario possibly putting sports betting into their upcoming budget. So Oppenheimer with a positive note on DraftKings because of that. But we are actually down this morning on DraftKings, guys. We had a huge move yesterday, obviously. We looked at it during the show, but that could be positive for DraftKings.
I think the note from Mark Roberts was the 15 million or so people here in Ontario would be like the 5th largest state, something like that.
Yeah,
so,
it's not bad.
So it's not bad. It's a big win. I think there's more appetite for gambling, honestly, in Ontario than people understand. We have a system here where you can just bet on one sport. Like you can bet a 1-ticket play. You can parlay it into 3 games. You can't bet individual. You can't do DFS or anything like that. So DraftKings should benefit from this. Big run yesterday. We saw a beautiful bottom of 45. Actually can't believe it got to that low before getting up to 50 again. Look at it on the daily chart. DraftKings finally, maybe now, looking to break out. I still think we need to get above this 53 to make it a little spicy, but there it is. Like those of you that are watching the show, welcome for the first time, but you know that I use this 50-period moving average all the time, and there it is. Drops right down to it yesterday. It bounces straight off. So I think this is great news for DraftKings. I don't know if it'll move the needle. I'm not sure that the province of Ontario, like I think if it was the state of Michigan or something like that, that might be a little more glamorous than this report. But I'm pretty happy being in Ontario. I already have, don't tell anybody, I already have an offshore betting account.
What?
Oops.
No, Sean. No. What are you talking about? Of course. No, I'm kidding. Look, I think you're right about that. Like hype. It might not be hype, but it's certainly better news in real life than it probably is going to do for the stock today, just in terms of a hype standpoint. This 50 level, it just continues to stick out like a bit of a sore thumb. And right now holding the gap barely above it on really, really low volume. So there is a decent chance. And we've seen DraftKings do, let's call them dirty moves off of the open sometimes. And I wouldn't be terribly shocked to see a bit of a short through 50 here if we can't get any kind of ramp. So if 51 doesn't break, it might be worth that look. I've said this before. It feels like the read on DraftKings is a little bit easier if you wait until like an afternoon type of play, or let it base out during lunch, or figure something out, and then make a play in the afternoon. The morning plays not always as clean, but I mean if it can't hold 50, I'm not even saying they sell this news because it's not that hyped.
All right, guys, we're going to bring in Mark Roberts here in a couple of seconds and get his opinion on DraftKings and see what he thinks following that news we were just speaking of. I was just looking at Pfizer here as well, 1.5% in positive territory. There was a little bit of negative news surrounding Pfizer and BioNTech's vaccine for COVID-19 and some allergic reactions that they're being investigated. So we're going to talk to Mark about that coming up as well. As far as the DoorDash IPO goes, guys, maybe first thoughts on what we want to see, what we want to look for when it does open, as far as signaling, strength, signaling this could be a positive trade.
I mean, we just got to look. DoorDash is going to be what it is. We've traded IPOs on the show before. We just haven't. We actually have a video out about how to trade. Go to that. Actually, Valeria, if you can post that link right now. Actually, it's very topical. Why don't we do that? It's getting a lot of hits on YouTube, so please go over and watch it. It's how to trade the Airbnb IPO. So, without leaving the show now, though, check out that link. But look, it's going to come out. We're going to see the pricing. Generally, what happens is, let's just say a price is at 110. Who knows? there should be, so if you have a limit on open order of greater than the price that it comes out at, you'll get filled. So you can put your limit order out, and again, depending on your system, I know it's how it works here, you can put your bid out now for $150. It doesn't matter. It will get filled at that opening price as long as you're routing towards the NYSE. That's where it's going to be listed. And then you'll get filled on that price. And then what should happen is there should be a big block order that sits at whatever that opening price is. So if that opening price is 110, I expect to see, and I'm sure Neil does as well, I mean, I'm just going to throw out a number because it's an even number, but 1 million shares or something on the bid, and that will give you the support that you're looking for. Once that 1 million shares breaks, then adios, amigos. We talked about the 3 amigos yesterday. Then it's to the downside. So for me, the play is you go long and you wait for that to break. But we do have shortable shares, Neil. So there is another play too. You can actually wait for the IPO to open and then catch that turn. So you could open at 110, all of a sudden it goes to like 111 and you're seeing it stop, or you see a big order on that side. Then you can punch the short because that's going to insinuate a panic downside, and you could wait for that 110 to break. So there's going to be a lot of different ways. We just hope, I think all three of us hope, Neil, that it opens up on time and that we can at least have fun on the show with our viewers. Yeah,
give us a bid like you're saying. Now, this isn't going to happen, but if for some reason the indicated open was sort of lower than this repriced 102, this won't happen, guys. But like in the off chance that it did, that'd be a sign of weakness. If you saw things like it indicated open 98, 99, that would be a reason to at least consider. At least I would be considering the short trade with that 102 as your support. So kind of a resistance. So it works both ways in that particular case, but there's no levels to work off of. So you are considering that 102, like 110, even numbers like that. I mean, if it opens up at $1.20, $1.25, it's really just more about the hype and finding that first support level to structure a trade around. And then from there, there's also breakout opportunities because you could always take a break of a big seller and then use one of those levels as your stopgap. So the idea is, as we get indicated prices, you start adjusting your plan because you have a better grasp on where it is going to open relative to that 102.
Now, you may have heard some complaining yesterday as far as the temperature in the studio goes. I just want to update our current temperature situation around here. It is now, guys, 26 degrees Celsius in the studio.
We need to put it cooler.
Which translates to about 78, I believe, Fahrenheit. So no complaining about being cold today, guys, because it's very, very warm in here today, on the contrary to yesterday. So temperature update. Let's bring in Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies. He is standing by. We'll say good morning to Mark. There he is, and get his thoughts overall. Mark, just to start things off, going into Wednesday here, what do we need to be aware of?
The NASDAQ, the composite has been up 10 straight days, very bullish. Small caps are trying to stay with the NASDAQ, very bullish. And whatever news has come out on the stimulus has been overshadowed by the fact that you have DoorDash, you have the IPOs coming, and you have vaccines that are legitimately being rolled out. All very positive. I see buy the dips.
Now, all-time highs yesterday for the S&P. We see, a little bit of a pullback here, but we're trying to get back to positive territory. Speaking of vaccines, let's talk about this Pfizer BNTX news, allergic reaction being investigated. They said yesterday, late in the day, there was 2 deaths for coming out of the trial that hadn't been reported to date. Is this news at all? I mean, Pfizer up this morning on that?
I think it'll be discounted. I think that with any vaccine, there is the risk, but the trials were extensive. The information that came out seemed to give regulators enough comfort, and those that have allergic reactions will just have to step aside, is my guess, as per their doctor's suggestion in the early days.
It seems like there's still a lot of unknowns when it comes to even the effectiveness, how long the vaccine will last as far as immunity is concerned. So still a lot of questions surrounding what is going to come of this. So we'll keep an eye on some of the vaccine names. I got to get your opinion on DoorDash. How are you going to go into today approaching this IPO?
Oh, I think it's not my favorite. I would prefer the Airbnb. I think that has a better backdrop as far as the public and their desire to stay in smaller enclaves when they travel. So DoorDash will do well. My guess is you probably can fade that mid-morning, assuming, as the boys have mentioned, it opens on time. Airbnb is my better pick.
When it comes to Tesla, we had quite the move yesterday, late in the day for Tesla. I mean, even with a $500 billion offering, it still closes green on the day. We are back down, I think, a little bit this morning. What do we take from this as far as Tesla is concerned?
I think the stock is setting itself up for higher prices. Valuation is certainly a consideration, but from the trading community, traders want to own this. Shorts are getting squeezed if there are that many left into year end. I think the dips will be sought for the next few days. And yes, they'll be backing and filling, so you have to stay lean and mean. But long term, I think the stock has set itself in motion.
One more group I want to just get your opinion on, Mark. The chip makers in play a little bit today. We have news on STM that we're going to touch on here. But as a group, what are your thoughts on the chip makers today?
They've been setting new highs. I look at the SMH versus the SOXX or SOX. They need to fill back some. So a surprise move of a dip is very much warranted. I think it will be purchased over the next few days if we start to pull back.
Great stuff. Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies. We'll bring in Neil and Sean here and get a few more opinions on names.
Hey, Mark. Good to see you again. We get some questions about where is Mark from. So are you a local New York guy, Jersey guy, born and raised?
I am a local New York City, Manhattan guy who has escaped to New Jersey because of COVID restrictions.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. But you live in Manhattan normally, I guess, or?
I live in Manhattan. I'm born and raised in Manhattan.
So there you go, guys. So straight from the streets there of Manhattan, the dangerous streets of Manhattan.
And my kids are born and raised in the streets.
There we go. Just like us. We're born in the streets of Brampton, Ontario, which is a small little town here. Now 600,000 people, but used to be about 300,000 or 400,000. DraftKings, you sent the note. Thank you so much. I was looking on the weekend there with our Ontario government looking to legalize DFS gambling, which is daily fantasy sports, when you bet on the individual players as well. And then now moving into the space, we have over 15 million people. You made that note here about the 5th largest state. What do we think about DraftKings? What a big move that was off the bottom yesterday. I highlighted here on the chart, $46. I mean, it went right down. Something that I like to look at, Mark, is this 50-period moving average. And right here, I have it at about 46, 47. I mean, regardless of where it comes out. But we dip down there, we bounce, and then we get going. I think DraftKings could make another run to the top. I do think this is a reopen play. I'm not talking necessarily about their books, but just a reopening of the COVID, reopening of the economy here. What do you think about DraftKings in the next couple weeks?
I'm very bullish. If you look at it purely technically, the 100-day moving average is about 43 and a quarter. The 50-day is about 46.89. Over the next few weeks, that 100-day will cross above the 50-day, right, setting itself up to give you the next basing. So I'm very bullish in here.
Yeah, I feel like we do have a base right now, almost right here. We topped out at 45 back in June. We hit 45 a couple times before coming back down in September and then breaking above, and then right now again hovering around. So, okay, Mark, we don't want to take too much of your time. That was mine on DraftKings. Neil, did you have something for Mark?
Just something very quickly here, Mark, because GameStop been called the blockbuster of gaming because of reasons, not necessarily a good thing to be called that. Look, they're down off those earnings, but what I wanted to talk to you about is, maybe ask you about, is your approach. This stock is over 100% short, 100% of the float short. And so, it's sort of, you see the upward trend. So even coming in today with this big gap down, I tend to favor shorting names like this and don't want to play that long. I'm feeling like patience is got to be a bit of a virtue, just because you get a gap this big. If any covering starts to come in, it's starting to get down to that 50 period where there was a bit of a bounce and a breakout through 13. I feel like there just might be some covering before we get to that number. What are your thoughts?
If it wasn't December, I would say the shorts would let it ride out. I think you'll see covering. I'm looking for somewhere in the 11.5, 12.5 area for the buyers to really be more aggressive.
Excellent. I mean, that's certainly a thing. And I think that's one thing that everyone should always keep in mind. Like, that's why we always give these fundamental looks. And I always try to put you on the spot, thinking I'll get you with something you don't have something to say about. But as usual, Mark, I saw in the chat here, and again, it's NFL season. The only reason I'm going to ask this, a few people saying they're Jets fans. I hate to be them. What about yourself?
I oscillate between the New York teams, depending on how good the coaching is that year and what the drafts look like. So I was an early Giant person, shifted to the Jets, and right now I'm probably more neutral.
Fair enough. That's probably a good thing because the Jets are terrible. We're winning around here. They have absolutely 0 wins. I'm going to throw you back to Brendan, but as always, Mark, thank you so much for your outlook. I'm going to have an eyeball at that 11 to 11.50 era because I like the shorts in GameStop.
Great. Thank you.
Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies. Always a pleasure, sir. We will talk to you again on Friday.
Perfect. Have a great day.
Best of luck today, Mark. We will jump into what is moving around, guys, in the pre-market as far as individual names are concerned coming up here. If you haven't done so already, grab the watch list. It's absolutely free to you. Valeria will help you out in the chat if you need the link. All you have to do is enter an email address. We do find that we have the best success when it comes to delivering the watch list through Gmail. So try and use a Gmail account if you can. Lots of names to get through today. DoorDash, yeah, I mean, we talked about it briefly there, guys. Lots of people still coming in here, so we'll touch on it again. DoorDash pricing their offering at $102 a share. That is up from their prior suggested range of between 90 and 95. I mean, we're looking at Dash on the NYSE here, guys. When it comes to the actual open, we obviously don't know when this is going to take place. We are hoping that it will take place on the show. Why don't we run through it one more time, guys, as far as plans for DoorDash?
Usually, I leave this to Sean because he always has it up. But today, I'm actually going to have my locator up because you're not going to get any indication in terms of the quote's not going to tell you too much. It will open up, but you will see eventually it'll pop up and populate after the open, just like any other stock would, pre-market open. And you'll be able to see like an imbalance pop in. It's going to be a buy imbalance. I think that's pretty, well, I shouldn't say that. There's a 99.999% chance it'll be a buy imbalance. You'll see it pop to the top of the list. And we'll start to get an idea of just how big the opening orders might be and where the pricing will be. And I think in that case, all we're looking for is we're anchored to this 102. In the event that somehow it goes down, like we were talking about with Mark, you can start thinking about that 100 or 93, 90, 95. Throw that out the window. Probably not going to happen. So you're anchored to that 102, and then you're also thinking about where do we open? And that first opening price, anticipate the chance that there is going to be a large buy volume that did not fill on that opening print. And then that is going to be that support level. So if you're looking to just say, okay, I'm trading it long for a scalp of a couple of percent or whatever it is that your target is going to be, that is going to be your first support. So adjust your plans accordingly. I remember when Snowflake came, the indicative price just kept climbing, and then it got out of a range that I was comfortable with, so I no longer took the market on open order, which was a mistake. So I'm actually thinking about staggering my entry into Dash, where I'll have X amount of shares, maybe say, let's just say it's looking like it's going to open 120, maybe has some shares bidding 150, some at 140, 130. So if I get the full fill, I know what price it must have printed. And then if it's too far up, at least I have a piece of that little pie, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you put, you would get filled on all of those, right?
If it's 120, yeah, exactly.
120. Right. So, look, I'm not going to play the game of guessing what price this stock is going to come out at. I have no idea, and I don't really care. I mean, it doesn't really matter for me anyways, because I don't know the value of this company. I have no idea. I mean, what makes Palantir go from 10 to 30, right? The same thing that makes Snowflake go from 245 to 440. And it's just demand. It's going to be supply and demand. We'll see how it comes out. The big big thing for me is, and again, this is DraftKings, but we can look at Dash right now quickly. There's nothing to show you other than this is what it looks like. But what I expect to see is, let's just pretend, let's go to something else here. Let's just go to Disney so I can show you basically. Like if this stock, if DoorDash comes out at 156, let's call it 156, then what I'm going to do is I'll be long at 156, and then I'm just going to look down here. See how this is 156 down here on the bid? This should say like 2 million shares or something. Each one of these level 2 indicated here by size is 100 shares. So I'm expecting to see something like, 2 million shares there, 3 million shares, and then I'll just let it go up. And then as it comes back down, analyze the momentum. You can't trade this like a dummy. I mean, if it's coming all the way, if it rips up in the money $3 or $4 and you see it coming back down, you get out. You don't have to wait for this 156 to break. But I think it gives me a little bit of a backdrop there to say, you know what? I have a couple shares here. I'm going to wait for this 156 to break. I'm going to wait for that IPO price to break. And generally, it will break on day one. So I wouldn't say that we're going to go all the way up to the moon here today. Generally speaking, guys, you may get a first 20 or 30 second bump as liquidity is going to be insane. That's why we hope to have it on the show. And then we'll see what happens after that. But I do think, a little bit of negative rhetoric, especially from Mark there. More people, I think, getting their guns loaded for Airbnb. Brendan at the big screen.
All right, guys, let's have a look at what has been upgraded and downgraded. Some interesting ones. These are obviously just a few, but interesting ones on here worth having a look at. Autodesk, top of the list. We have Baidu on here. Walt Disney on here as well on the upgrade side today, 1.6%. VeriSign as well at the bottom there, 1.4%. On that side of the story, downgrades this morning, American Express, DocuSign, Moderna, and Zoom. So mRNA and Zoom to look at today, guys. Zoom on the watch list, but Moderna did not make it. We are trading a little bit higher, unusually, on that, guys.
Yeah, actually, it's gapping up. Not the first time Moderna's been gapping up, but it is running towards this 178.50 top. And we were looking at this. The last time we had a much bigger gap, and I think that's going to be a little bit of resistance. You catch a downgrade at this time. Off of a high like that with a multi-day run. And, the last time we showed it up here on Moderna, we were way too early. I should have waited for it to roll over instead of jumping in front of the sword. But I am going to take a shot. I like this 176 pre-market high. Maybe we don't even test that 178. That's how I would like to get in. The other look would be a 170 break to the downside. I mean, you can sort of see a bit of a top, 170.50. Yesterday in the morning, and then right at the close, we closed basically at that 170 even. So that's the other one I'll be looking at for Moderna with the downgrade. Interestingly enough, like you said, they are up 1% on that news and still holding the gap for now.
I actually did want to show, thank you to Arun, obviously he's watching and mentioning this. We have something here called auction price as a column. So I just added it. I actually never even, I knew it existed, but for some reason I never thought about doing this because we're always like, hey, where's it going to come out? So right now it's at 102 here. This is Dash right here. So it's saying 102. I don't know how much to trust this because right now, like Pfizer is a 1.2 million bid, right? Auction price, this is not coming out at 42.56. So we'll wait to see. I think it'll get more and more accurate, obviously, as that comes to market. So we will watch that. Just want to note that we added that. What a great trade that was yesterday, guys. I know Neil was short, but doesn't matter. It was a good opportunity to go short there. Pfizer gave you a little bit of a dip, but check that. Oh, that was in the afternoon, I guess. Yeah, 148. But look at this 42 break. Now you're waking up to a 43. So we will have Pfizer talk coming, but 1.5 million. Was that what it was there on the bid? I don't know. I'm thinking about a short today. We did have those two patients that were apparently having adverse reactions over there in London, England with it, but apparently they had bad allergies experienced before. So I don't know if this is something to watch out for, but we will look out for news on the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine here, Brendan.
Yeah, I think as Mark was saying on that, it's to be expected. There's obviously lots of people in the world with allergies, and adverse reactions are going to happen in these trials and in these cases. So I think it's to be expected. Number 2 on that imbalance locator, can you just confirm, Sean, that was AI? There's a couple of people talking about this AI stock that's also an IPO today. This is C3 AI priced their IPO 15.5 million shares at $42 per share. Can we just go back to Sean's screen there, guys, and just have a look at AI real quick? Yeah, it is number 2 there.
Yep.
7.
It's right here. I'm showing it. Was it trading yesterday? Yeah. Okay, so it's not. Yeah, it was already. I think they've already had this IPO, but I don't know. We're gonna find out.
I see December 9th, so
it should be today. I just don't. I don't know what
today.
this trading was here.
Yeah, it's today.
Okay.
We'll find out more about the pricing of AI, but if you guys know anything about that, well, we've just been too enamored with DoorDash, but this little undercover one could be good, man. Well, I don't know much about it, so unfortunately I do have to pass, but yes, you are correct. It is on here, on the buy and balance here, coming out. It looks like their price a little lower here right now, $42 on C3, so we'll find out more about that.
Actually, number 3 on that list too, guys, that QS, that's on the watch list. That's been a massive run. We got to make sure we get to that as well. But that should be a big mover. You see BFT, it's like open interest on the names that are hot and are on the watch list. Shouldn't be too much of a shocker here.
All right, let's continue along here. Let's go over to Chewy, the next one we're going to talk about. Coming up, the Pet Supply, online Pet Supply website posted earnings that were kind of better than expected. Still a loss, but better than expected. Smaller loss than expected. 17.8 million active customers was a 40% uptick on a year-over-year basis. So benefiting slightly from the increased online demand in this quarter.
Yeah, I'm just putting an order out for that AI right now to get going on that, just to see if it does do anything. Chewy, okay. Yeah, a little disappointing here on the Chewy report, but I do remember last time, I don't even see Chewy on here right now, so no one's even really talking about this or thinking about it too much. Only 118,000 shares, not much happening. A little disappointing considering COVID, really, but I guess it was already priced to perfection. We talk about that all the time here on the show, and look at the run that Chewy's made. I mean, I'm a shareholder. Talk about an IPO that was correct. It took a while to get going, but down here 20, all the way to 80 right now. I mean, this was $20 back in March. Now you're $80. It is a pure, in my opinion anyways, it's a great COVID play. A lot of pet stores unable to be open, especially around here in Ontario, as we are in lockdown as well. So, you know, you got to get your food and your animal needs somewhere. 2/3, I don't know if you knew this, 2/3 of American households have a pet. So Chewy, a big one. They don't deliver in Canada yet, so I have no experience with them, but I do know that they're a pretty strong company. And I'm just going to wait on it. Last earnings play, we did take a big hit on Chewy, but we're still stuck in this range, man. 78, 80. I would have preferred them to blow out, so we'd open up above this 80 mark, but it looks like we'll open below it. So let's see what happens around $80. I think it's a buy through 80, but not one that I'm convinced of.
Yeah, 79. I have a range here, the 79, 80 to 80 area that I'll be honing in on, I guess is the word. If it's a sell the news, I think you have to hold up the 77, 75 area. So those are the two levels I'll be watching on Chewy. I'm disappointed in the pre-market volume here. So opening basically less than 1% downside post earnings for Chewy, and then 120,000 in volume probably makes it not on the radar for an opening trade. But if we get a range break, we'll have a look at it. I know you guys are looking at that CRIS. I know it just dropped like $1 in the last few minutes, but they had a share offering that got announced this morning. So that's the reason for that drop. I do believe we're probably going to talk about that one a little bit later on at the bottom of our list. But just so you guys know, share offering on CRIS, that's why it made that drop.
Yeah, I was just going to show the actual headline here. It doesn't actually say the size. I was looking for the size of the offering, but it's a pre-existing shelf offering. That's why. So they're just following through with a pre-existing shelf offering for that Curis. A couple things to get to. I think I solved our chart issue with that AI, guys. It was actually a former symbol of another stock that this C3 is taking over. So we'll show you that in a second. But let's get to Arun here and have a look at the futures and see what levels we need to be aware of when it comes to the overall market. Arun, what are you looking at today?
You know, it's an interesting start. We opened the session last night with the Asian Open. It's 775 was the open on the ES futures, and we are trading 3707.75 again. So overnight session has done absolutely nothing. So a couple of areas or a couple of levels I'm keeping an eye on, 3715 and 3695. We are dead center, going sideways, not a whole lot to do. I mean, in the last couple of days, I've had one trade that I've been able to make on the futures, and that was yesterday towards the end of the day. So not a whole lot in a market like this. When it's gone quiet, there's very little to do, right? I mean, there's DoorDash, there's Airbnb, there's the fun activity that you can possibly take on in this market. But in terms of the futures, at least on the ES side, there's very little to do. Maybe if we get the break of 37.15, we can get an expansion and try to take that to the upside. Conversely, if we go down below 36.95, if we get that break, then maybe we can take the downside as well. But right now, I'm going to be waiting for those two levels to go. I'm not even sure if I want to step in front of those levels, given how we've been moving. It's very hard. I'm finding it very hard to determine whether there's enough buy or sell interest to go in one direction. I'd rather just wait for the breakout. So unfortunately, this might be day 3 of doing a whole lot of nothing there, Brendan.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in with Arun coming up tomorrow before we get to the open. So let's talk about AI here, guys. A company called Arlington Asset Investment Corporation on October 26th changed their symbol to AAIC. So we can show you, this is AI. So if we show you the chart of AI throughout the show, you may see data here. That is the old ticker, but this has switched to AAIC. You can see on October 26th, it started trading under AAIC, guys. So that's why we're seeing prints on the chart there for AI. So C3 AI is actually AI IPO, which is starting to trade today. Roundabout way, but we got there. GameStop. Let's go to GameStop. The video game retailer reported a 30% year-over-year decline in Q3 sales, which was actually in line with expectations, but big move down here. They also announced a big shelf offering as well.
Yeah, and we talked about this with Mark. It's over, I forget the exact number, maybe you can get it for me, but it does over 100% of the float short is going to tell you, 103 is the number, Brendan? There you go. I mean, 103, 110. Does it even matter at that point? That's certainly significant. I think that's why it's even forming at least a little bit of a base here. Now, I'd already written down, and this is, sometimes you get volume spikes on dark pools at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, but at 8 o'clock, this was getting to this 1450 mark before failing back in. It's held a pre-market low, so you have a bit of a defined range here. Because I don't want to go long, if the 1450 breaks, at that point, I'm just treating that like I would one of those parabolic type of movers, or one of those where I'm looking for a top and then I'm trying to catch a bit of a rollover. And whether that happens at like a 15 even or a 1550, I'm sort of ambiguous to that. I'm going to be going short through the break at 1380. I think 13 could be support. Market talked about 1150. I'm not sure we get there today, but throw that in the back of your mind. Anytime you short something like this, any covering or any type of squeeze can get accelerated rather fast. So liquidity should be okay because it's GameStop, but things can change rapidly. Got to have a bit of a stop order there. But my first look is I see this 1380 bottom, and I'm going to be taking that one out. Hopefully not before the market opens. It's short sell restricted. That means cannot hit the bid without an uptick, but that doesn't mean you can't try to get the shares.
Yep. I love the short GameStop. I think this has been a dead business for a bit here, but we'll wait to see. This 16% seems to be a lot for that. We'll check out the chart. Look at this, 278,000. I was looking at Pfizer there. 278,000 to sell, just pairing off right now. 600,000 volume seems to be pretty good. Dash is still there. AI is still there. Quantum is there as well. But this is what we're talking about right now. If you're wondering what we're going through, it's our morning movers. It's our watch list. We send this out. I got this at 8:07, as you guys can see. So hopefully you guys are getting it early as well. We're sending it out as early as we can to you, and it's free. So watchlist.tradertv.live, and it goes over everything you need to know, all the names that we're going to be talking about. Sure, we're going to miss some, but generally it's like 10 to 15 names, if not a bit more sometimes, depending on the space. But here we go. We're breaking it down for you. Brendan does a great job with this, as well as Valeria putting this together. Ahead of consensus, loss of 85 cents there. But look at the chart, though, here of GameStop. I mean, the 1 day's range, this is what I'm nervous about. It's already made such a nice move up. Like, I was really surprised of this. So that's why I think that the short could come in here because, again, Mark, not rocket science here, this little 11 and 12 area, that's easy to look at. But yeah, you could break down below the low today. I watch out for the top, but this top is not until like this 15 bottom where we sort of closed yesterday. A little bit worried about that if it takes that out. But other than that, man, we have this gap and go here that could fill you if you were looking at that. So I'm looking at a 1450 high. And then, of course, we all have to be together on this short of 1380, if not even earlier. So I know we just talked a roundabout there, but I prefer the short, but I'm not afraid to take that 1450 long into 15 and then see what happens at that point. I don't think this is going to be a home run, but we could get a little bit of squeeze action.
Let's go to Sorrento Therapeutics next, guys. They picked up a clinical laboratory license to process tests, human-grade tests, which is key because they can start processing COVID-19 tests now. So the clinical laboratory improvement amendments has awarded them this license. So apparently a key license to be able to process human-grade tests when it comes to diseases. So Sorrento Therapeutics getting a nice bump today on that. Almost got back up to that 9 level.
It really did. I mean, like this is one of those like it gaps, and it's actually been holding up some support before making this little run. And I hate to say breaking out because usually I'm shorting this stock, but making a bit of a push to this 840. You can certainly see if we can hold above 9, there might be good things for this. And every time, Brendan, you bring up the stock, I just think of a certain mediocre Cleveland Indians outfielder. And I don't know what you're doing, Paul Sorrento, but you were a solid player. You hit 30 bombs one time. I'm not sure this is going to be a home run today, but at the level I'm watching, if we can hold a pullback, would be like this 860. And I know normally, like I said, I would be shorting something like this. I just sort of feel like if this holds up with this pre-market bottom, I know it dipped down to 850, but that was more of a failed break at that level there at 60. If we can hold this area down here, you might get another secondary push to the top. I'm going to hold off any type of short on Sorrento until we've at least tested this high. So if we can test that 9 even, then roll over, sorry, 9 to 915, and then roll over from there, maybe a short at 9 with a stop at that 15, maybe even 20 would be in play. Now, otherwise, maybe you get a bit of a base out this 860 and get a shot at the open for a bit of a long on Sorrento. It's shown some strength in the past and had some ability to hold up off of these moves. I do have Cinedigm to the short side, guys, just to so you guys know it's already started to go, so not much to see there, but the 115 level was shorting off of 120 at first, and then now moving it to 115 because it's already gone 10%. If it breaks a buck, things should get very, very interesting for that one. But I think Cinedigm's on the list as well. We'll get to that one in a bit.
I see a lot of people asking, I talk about getting to things on the list. I don't think we have Palantir on the list today because there really is no catalyst for it today, guys. So here it is right here. It's a bid. Everyone's saying, what's up with your boy Palantir? Yeah, look, we've been crushing Palantir. I am a long-term investor. By long-term, I mean I've been in it for a month, but plan on holding the rest of my shares. I am out of more than half of my position, sub 10. I just checked on that yesterday. So big out at 27, another out at 33, lucky enough, and then most of them out on those prices. But okay, for today, guys, this is still a 1-minute chart. We had that up. Yesterday, this is not the kind of chart that you guys want to look at to trade. I mean, yesterday off open was a big move down. We were caught a little long. We lost on the long, managed to make some of it back, so the day was saved with that. But just look how choppy this is here. I can't give you guys, you traders, a home run trade here. I really don't see anything right now. You could take out some of these bottoms looking at 28. If you look at this top, this is something that's interesting to me. But this is the other, that's 29.50. This is the other thing about Palantir, and I'm going to tell this to you right now. There's a lot of traders. We saw this guy on CNBC yesterday. I had no idea who he was. There's a lot of traders that are just straight IPO, new tech traders. So what I actually have a feeling is going to happen, you could get money coming out of some of these recent IPOs just because of what they've done, and then put that money into DoorDash, Airbnb, AI today, things like that. So I could actually see like a Palantir, a Snowflake, a Rocket, some of the newer names that have just come out. Frog is another one, maybe even the EV space. You could see money coming out of those names and then into, whether long or short, just to play the IPOs today. So I'm a little bit nervous about some of those names. So I hope that's a little higher level look into what could possibly be happening to DoorDash and some of these more recent IPOs. So I'm going to be a little bit frugal with the share sizes, I guess, today on some of these names, especially the ones I just listed. I'd much rather trade something like a Roku or like some of these other ones, GameStop, that we have written down here. Even local one, BFT. We made a buy on that yesterday, sub 13. It's nice to see where that one's going today as well. Yeah,
John, you're killing me about Snowflake because. I wanted to comment on that exact same phenomenon. It's not the first time we've seen this. And I feel like some of that actually might have happened in snow yesterday. Now, this was after the show that I had this short on. It was a good one breaking through VWAP. I didn't hold it to 400, guys. I think I got like the maximum was like $8 on that trade. But I'm going to be looking at this one through that 400 even area. I'd be fading any massive pops in Snowflake just because I think you might see that same phenomenon. And I feel like the one that's gone up the most and given the most profit has a decent shot to be, well, I mean, flip a coin whether you want to call it Palantir or Snowflake. Those are the ones that have the best shot for that kind of phenomenon here for both today, and then of course tomorrow Airbnb, which I think we all agree is probably a little more hyped and exciting for most investors.
All right, guys, let's get going through lots to get through still before we get to the open this morning. QuantumScape Corporation next, big mover this week to the upside. They make solid-state batteries for electric vehicles. They're talking about 300-mile range on a charge. The more impressive number I thought though was they can go from flat to an 80% charge in 15 minutes. They come out today and say, hey, guess what? Our batteries can also work in electric planes. So another 25% bump here for QS today.
Boss, the plane. I mean, look, you look at what this thing has done in just the last couple of weeks. If I can give a quick look here, just so you guys can see. It's basically 22 to like 82 if you go just late last month. So I guess it charges fast, but they ramp up really fast. And it's really difficult to see this retracement back in and feel like, man, is this not too much? This comes right back to the pre-market low. Do we get a gap fill into the downside? When you're looking at something that's an electric in the electric space, just be careful with any short like this because the range pre-market is huge. If I have a shot at this at the open and this doesn't happen right away, and you're taking it any kind of a short to fill in the gap at the bottom, I'm gonna have a relatively tight stop on it, and I think that's the idea. I can't give this all the way back to the pre-market high. It's just not going to be a feasible type of idea when the entire gap is like $10. You can't give up $10 when something is this strong. So you might have to have a quick. It either works right away and the bottom fill floods out, or just take your pain, lose the buck, walk away from that trade. And that's assuming there's going to be decent liquidity, which at least for the time being, I'm seeing in the pre-market here. I mean. Of course, it was just like a 10-cent spread a second ago, but then it opens up here to like 25. But I think it'll be okay at 9:30. I would just be very, very wary of having a large stop if you want to think it'll fill in that gap to the downside, because this space, when it gaps up, no guarantees you get those same type of retraces.
Yeah, you should see the chat here, guys. Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for the kind words about some of those IPO talks. And look, I just looked. I'm long, like you guys are saying, Rocket is a rock. Look, I'm long off that tweet, 2131. I just checked my account. It's at 2069 Rocket. So, I mean, to say that we're losing on this is true. I'm long at 2131. But I do like Rocket. I don't know if there's news today. Remember, the thing about Rocket is I'm not huge into this one. I do actually like this bottom base here that we're trying to form at 18. I'm getting long Rocket now so that when it does break, I'm hoping anyways, when it does break 25, I have some on board and I can get more, like a real position here through 25. So that's kind of the play here on Rocket. We are getting close to that 50-period moving average break as well. So I do like Rocket here coming upside. Remember, former Quicken Loans company here, Rocket looking to take off. Rocket companies, they only take good loans apparently, and they have a great app. Most of their business done, obviously, pretty much all of it done electronically. So I think there's some advantages to them here today. You're going to look at 2085 to the upside. Look, quantum is just nuts. I don't know if I'll get on an electric plane or not, but it should be exciting for most people. What I say today, hopefully, is boom, Brendan.
Oh, guys, don't mistake Rocket for Rocket Pharmaceuticals, which is up 30% today, and actually on its own news. That has nothing to do with Rocket Mortgages, but that is actually a mover today. Not on our watch list, though.
Yeah, it's RCKT versus RKT. Let's go to Roku next on the list here, guys. Citigroup increasing their price target on Roku. It got to all-time highs yesterday. Citigroup today says even more to come, 375 in fact. Their price target now on Roku up from 220. So a gap higher here again today, guys, for Roku.
Quickly, I want to say about this name. So I was going back on my 15-minute and noticing that almost the majority of this $100 run has been, intraday moves. Like the gap ups have not been there on the stock. I know it's gapping today, but the one day when I pulled back, it was when it did gap to the upside, there was a pullback and a decent one, and then it was eventually going to be a long. So I'm looking for initially a dip buy here, just based on that pattern and really nothing else. First look will be for me to see if it holds up at not the pre-market low of 311, maybe like a 310. The other thing I'm going to consider is just a timing play, like maybe after the opening rush at 10 o'clock, just see if it's making any kind of a base, and then look for a entry point at about 10. So if it takes off the top, that might mean it goes without me. The other play, I might just take a small position in Roku, and then I think that there's a better play to be had maybe for bigger at 10 o'clock. That's my kind of thinking, just looking at the recent gap ups or lack thereof on this, now 50% move in just the last like 3 weeks or so.
Funny thing about Roku is and this is going to sound ridiculous that I'm going to say this, but it's only up 130% or something for the year, which is a lot. I understand that, but I think it can go higher. I don't see why this can't just keep on going, man. I mean, 316 there. We do have a nice little developing bottom at 313 yesterday. Obviously, the tops are right here at 307, 308. Unless the market crashes, which doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon. Let me go over to the NASDAQ right now. I don't see this one doing anything other than making moves to the high side. Again, I'm a little nervous, as I keep saying it, about some of these high flyers and profit taking to get ready to move cash into these IPOs. So that's the one thing. Remember, a lot of people need trades to settle 3+ days. So obviously it's going to be late if you're doing that right now for Airbnb, but a lot of the cash will still come into people's accounts. So I'm wondering if this has legs still, but it's going to tell me yes or no, because I'm going to take a log through 316. It's not going to be huge, but I do think that a 316, Austin 316 will be a good price here, going through this top level. We'll see it. I like Roku. I'm looking at a new TV. A TCL seems to be on sale right now on Best Buy for 75-inch. But the problem is, then I have to change around my living room. So I'm debating what I want to do. But Roku is in TCL TVs, and those guys are hitting it out of the park with the Costco deal, and they're selling them like crazy at Best Buy. So Roku, a great COVID play, a great technology play, and the market is not lying about this one, Brendan. It just is a monster.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that. TCL, they were the number 2 global seller behind Samsung now as far as TVs goes. So yeah, huge move for TCL. Into the Canadian market, let's talk XPeng. Zoom is on the list, guys, on a downgrade today. It's not really doing anything. Tesla as well. We talked about it with Mark a little bit. Worth a watch back around that 650 level. Let's go to XPeng. The company finally priced that offering that we've been discussing over the past week or so. So XPeng down on that, guys, 3% here.
And is speaking for itself with regards to XPeng. I'm going to be looking for this bottom here if we ever get anywhere close to it. That 1420 is certainly going to be a level. Before that happens, I had a 46.85 a break, and that's just a pre-market low that I want to play into. If it does make a bit of a pop, I want to take it off of a 50. I'm going to resist the temptation to go long in this name. I kind of feel like when there's bumps to the upside. Usually there's a better play to be had in an NIO NEO or maybe in like a Li Auto, and I kind of prefer sticking to that. And then if I want to make a short play, it'll be on XPeng, and I'm looking at 46.85, which is right here right now. Could actually break that any second before the open even.
I've been looking at DoorDash, looking at a whole bunch of different things. So I haven't looked at XPeng or Li Auto, but we do like NEO, and we always look at NEO. And I think that's something. Okay, come on, charts, don't jinx again here, guys. There it comes. Here it goes. There it is. Okay, you can see here 47. We're already up that 1.3% here. I like electric vehicles, obviously, as they continue to go. 48. We can do a 3-minute. Let me do a 3-minute chart here before we go back. What time is it? Oh my God, it's already 9:23. Wow. Time going on today, guys. This is the level here, 48. We did take that blow off early yesterday before coming all the way back down. So 47. If that's not a bottom, I don't know what is. So watch out for 47 right now. Topped yesterday. It looks like we bottomed there today. This is 47.30. I don't really have anything up here. I think we can retest 48. But if you do that, watch out. We did this yesterday, and we actually were able to get out around the quarters. So watch out, because it only went to 48 quarter yesterday on a 48 break. Brennan, 1 second quickly. NEO right there. There it is. Still a bid, guys, of 515,000. This is yesterday's closing price. That's what I figured probably is this auction price. So right now, 102 still on Dash. We're watching Dash getting close to $1 million right now.
Right, I don't see XPeng on there, but yeah, you see the relative strength in NEO. They're up 1.3% when XPeng is down more than 3% on that offering. So I want to make sure we get to STM Semiconductors, guys, because it's very, very weak today. But there's, what else? There's that BFT. There's Luminar Technologies, again, that laser after the Citron tweet yesterday. Didn't really do anything. It did close lower on the day. But Citron, the catalyst on Luminar today. Let's talk about STM Semiconductors as we are getting on in time here. The CEO coming out aftermarket yesterday. This primary listing worth mentioning over in Europe on this one, but the CEO coming out yesterday saying they're going to have to push a profit target on this stock for the company back 1 year. So they're talking about 2023 now for a $12 billion profit target.
Yeah, and this is big news, and I'm going to show you guys the chart here in the New York. Of course, the primary listing is in Europe, and I could be looking at it in Milan, certainly over there with a live quote. But this is what we're talking about in the daily chart. A big gap down here on STM, so it's going to be obviously short sell restricted. If I trade today, it's going to be likely in European shares. But either way, I'm looking at some kind of a base that was there before at 36 to 36.35. We're just holding above that for now in STM. And I just feel like this is one of those plays where if it sort of extends at the open down into this level, consolidates, the timing is sort of key here, because when this closes in Europe, if it's held that level, you might get a little bit of an opportunity on lower volume when the primary closes down to catch like a rubber band play. Maybe it'll bounce to the upside. So that's what my look is going to be on STM. I'm very unlikely to trade it over here in New York until right around that European close when we're wrapping things up here. So it's something I definitely want to circle back to. I think it's going to be a mover. If it cannot hold that 36, things could get pretty ugly for it. But it is short sell restricted. There's a bunch of other names that we have to get to. I know a couple of small caps here. Just remember, I am in Cinedigm already. There's one which, I don't know if you ever found what was going on with this stock, Brendan, but tell us about Archon.
Nope, nothing. Yeah, it popped up aftermarket yesterday. You can see a huge move to the upside, still 90%. Doesn't appear to be any kind of reason for this. So $3 up here, pretty decent level. Resistance yesterday, support broke. We're on the way back downside. If we get back up to that $3 level, worth a watch. There's also that Chris, Neil. Maybe we can go over Curious from yesterday, big mover, an offering that we mentioned already.
Yes, and my apologies for always calling it Chris. I know you guys, it's Curious. That is it. Sean got his water. Forgetting that a couple of days in a row here, my friend. So let's, I don't know, I'm messing with you there. It's not the end of the world. You keyed it before the show. Gotta hydrate to keep your head straight. Now, I had some levels I was going to work off for Chris already, especially that 9 even, and then the offering came and sort of ruined those plans. But it's worth noting we're still above that heavy sort of pullback range where there was all kinds of support at 6 even. And I feel like that's probably still going to be true, especially with the favorable look. Somewhat favorable look that this has had since the post offering here. 8:30, came all the way down, broke the 7, and it's been climbing ever since. And it's made a very, very strong pullback here, which is a bit of a bullish sign for the name. I think the real support's at 6 even. I was already planning on shorting this off of 9 this morning. So if I get anything in that 850, 860 range, you're going to see me pop into this one to the short in front of 9. The fact that the offering came in certainly wouldn't hurt those plans, but hey, it's worth noting how much buying has stepped in on decent volume after that initial flush on Curious. So I'll be patient with this. I don't have a position now, and I won't have one until it gets up to that 850, 860 range. If it got to 6, I think it's probably going to be a good place to pick some up and buy it. So we'll talk about like 6 quarters, 630, something in that range.
So the reason why Lowe's is up is there's an investor day today, and I just got in. And I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with Starbucks. Starbucks also with an investor day today. Again, come on, charts. Like, let's load up here. There's my in there. Like, it just spikes up. I was actually waiting. I'm going to go back to a 3-minute, or I'm a 1-minute chart right now. As we're about to get open, I'm long Starbucks. What a bit. It just breaks there. I put a 102 bid, so we just got in at the high side there. 102.18. Small shares. I was just wanted it for a tester there, but it rips up and markets me in. Not markets. I had a limit all the way up to 25. So we'll wait on Starbucks. I'm not nervous that this print came up there. The spread right now is 50 cents. You get it one way or the other. But coming back to the downside there, the reason why I liked Starbucks is if you go yesterday, we did have 101.50 there as our top. So I'm kind of using that as a bottom. That could break. So I'm actually right now, because I don't have many shares, I'm going to use 100 as the bottom, but I do want to get myself into Starbucks today for sure. And then Lowe's as well. You guys talking about that one, Investor Day. I don't know what they've been saying. Well, this is like sort of an update for Brendan. He'll keep his ear to the ground on Lowe's, but already up that 6%. I bet you it's probably, maybe they announced a share buyback or something. I don't see anything, but Lowe's right now up with the nice one. They've been the laggard with the Home Depots of the world, so we're getting ready for that one. I don't really have anything off the open other than GME. We're looking at NIO through 48.
Yeah, GameStop is actually getting rather close here to that bottom. I saw just ticking to like 1388. It's a 1380 low that we're looking to take out. It's short sell restricted, so no guarantees on a fill. XPeng for me getting rather close to that 85 area that I wanted to try a short off the open. So those names, I still have that CIDM. We've got Rob from our IT department who is going to be ringing the bell if I am correct about this. There he is, and a nice shirt. Under Armour, maybe you should look at that. But 7-6, it's hump day, it's DoorDash day. Let's get this party started. 3, 2, and 1. Ring that bell. There we go. And then, it looks like I thought we actually broke on GameStop right there at 80, but it turns out we bounced right off of that pre-market low, so no entry just yet on that name. If it goes like literally a couple of cents lower, I should get the trigger on GameStop. And of course, it's short sell restricted. And my order just
didn't even open yet. I'm already short.
It's not
I
open.
just got short there, 81s.
There
we go. So nice little banger already. Let's see what happens. We're short 81. It goes down, Neil, all the way to 61 there. We did not have any bids. That would have been pretty sweet to take that bid out, though. So right now we are short right now on GameStop. 81s. It's ripping against us. So watch out now, man. This 14.15 could get taken out. I'm more looking for this 14.50 on the high side of GME right now, guys.
Yeah, I'm a tool. I actually did not hit confirm on my shortable shares on GameStop, so I'm fortunately not in. I'm gonna go get those right now because I don't want to miss this move. So I'm gonna get these, and this is how fast it happens. Watch, in a few seconds, I'm gonna have the shortable shares. XPeng bounces off of that 46.85 level, so I'm obviously not into that trade either. But here comes back to the downside GameStop. Please give me the same entry price that I could have had before.
You have a way better entry price because before you would have had mine, which is 1380 right now. So let's just see what happens at the downside now of GameStop.
Got it.
You guys could get more shares, whatever you want at this point. I don't know.
Roku's gone, by the way, so forget about a dip buy. You had to buy that one off the open.
Man, damn it. Roku was that 316 level. Again, too enamored with GameStop right now.
Yeah.
And Starbucks, Roku, man, nuts.
Yeah, so maybe we get a bit of a dip into like that 16, 17 range and maybe catch it on the way back in here. I might try something like 316 mid, 316, 75, just a bit of a pullback trade. I won't like it nearly as much as obviously you saw how great that break was. That sort of goes without saying. GameStop, I got 91, so 10 pennies better, just a little bit better, but that's all fluke. Pie in the face as far as I'm concerned, and I have those locates. No pullback on Roku here, so that might have been a missed opportunity, but the long, obviously a good one. I want to quickly go to QS here. This short missed as well, but it has broken that 70 even. If it gives me a shot at that same level, I'll do the same thing with GameStop and then try to get into that one, which GameStop is also going down towards 1350. I'll take some out in front of the 50, but I want to be in this little quick party on a tight stop in QS.
Guys, we are just supermanning this one, man. We tried to get more. This is BFT chart, of course, because it doesn't load. But we are huge on this one, guys. We just got out 61s. We just got out 60s. Man, our day is basically made right there. But we did hold back because we're still waiting for DoorDash. So what a great trade this was on GameStop. We did it again, guys. What a big trade this was for us. Still, bang to the downside. This has been a monster one. So we're cooking it up today, guys. Once again on GME. Big trade for me, 1381 short. We're excited. We've got the shares on board, just bouncing off 50. Let's see how low this wants to go, Mr. Wiggins.
We talked about that fade move in Snowflake in the afternoon yesterday. Look at this guy's back above 400 here. A huge volume spike at the open for Snowflake.
To hold some of these this game. We talked about 13 as a level. That's going to be my ultimate target on this. So I'll get some out the last in front of the quarter. I'll get the last, and then I'll get some out in front of that bid, that 13 even bid. And I just got into XPeng here. It broke that 46.85. Because this is not the bottom break, it's just the level I was looking at when I went back far enough. I'm going to give it probably about the 47.50 mark, not fight it too hard. But I am watching Snowflake here. I had a decent short on this one yesterday, and I'm looking to see if I can fade off of this. It was a great trade off of 420 before. Gets anywhere near that level, I'll definitely take another shot at that one. But XPeng trying to get down towards the 46.20 pre-market bottom. I'll take some out in front of these 50s, and then also probably in front of that 46.20. They want to hold through any break of the low.
Man, we're just watching this GameStop. Like I said, man, that's it. We're pretty happy with that. Our day is right here on this one trade. So I mean, big time to the downside. And to think I was trying to get more upside when this went to here, I was trying to get more. So this could have even been a bigger trade for that one. Nothing else really moving for us, man. XPEV Roku. I do have that Neo looking at 48. We can go back to that right now. That went the other way. So right now we're just riding our GameStop. I don't really see anything here on the downside for Neo, but 46 could be a stop spot for there. We're now 30 plus cents in the money on GME. Our best outs, we're down here, man, 47.48. Wow, it goes all the way to 35. I want to put some more bids out here, man. This has just been nuts.
Yeah, I got something in front of it, like I said, that quarter, but XPeng hasn't even, it's just oscillating here, and it's kind of crazy that we're not even opened up here. You don't see the NYSE, so no open on XPeng. I'm not sure what Neil's doing right now, but it's like 5 minutes in, and we haven't even opened up. Brendan, what's up?
Pretty negative yesterday on this one as well, space. But back to the upside here, 5%, big volume through 35 there on Virgin Galactic. We mentioned Friday, this coming Friday, the window is going to open for their final test flight, guys.
Yeah, being the blockbuster of anything is not a compliment. And it's not to kick anybody while they're down, which I guess it kind of is. But GameStop getting towards that 13 level, I'm anticipating maybe a bounce that can be shorted again. So I'm going to actually get an order out because should have had some on the way down here already, but was able to still get those 29s or 31s. For me, it's going to end up being maybe like a 70-80 cent win on the last of this position. Still waiting on XPeng. It's basically flat, but it could just bounce above set 47 here. I'm waiting for this thing to open up. It's crazy. There we go.
Yeah, you might be able to see, this is how I trade, guys. Take a big position here and then just average them out, like just get out. Like we're getting out a little bit all the way down. Look at that out, 25. You guys know we sit at quarters, so we're sitting there again with some more orders to get out there at 35. So this has been obviously a big trade. It's the only one I'm worried about, only one I have on right now. I do have this on as well, and that's Starbucks. We did talk about them coming in through Investor Day right now. We're going to watch that. Tesla right now bouncing around to the 645 level. What's up, B?
As far as Lowe's is concerned, guys, on that Investor Day, I posted it on the screen there right at the open, $15 billion share buyback for Lowe's. Rocket just popping up here on a volume spike through 21. So Rocket on the move, guys.
I'll take that hit of the day on XPeng. It just broke 47.50, so the short not good. I'm assuming like Neil must have made a move to the upside. Getting consolidation on GameStop, and I was looking for a place to short the pop, and if we get anything in the 60 to 65 range, I'll probably retest this one. I will go back over to Cinedigm because I've had this position on the entire time, but one even turned into a bit of support. There you go. Psychologically, I'm going to hold on to the shares I have now. If I can get more in the 10 to 15 range, certainly I'd add to my position back in. I want to have something if it breaks a buck. But hey, the short's already working on this name. Might as well hang on to it.
Okay, so just an update right here. We are into Tesla now at 646. It did have a nice little drop down. We saw the move. This happened yesterday in Tesla off the afternoon. This could be a big loss. I don't know. We're going to give it down here, $6 worth at least, down to 640 for Tesla. So again, we're in this name here. We're going to see if we can defend the 640 level yesterday. Again, some tops here yesterday, 636, 637, 40. We dipped down a little bit. We broke out from there. I'm going to use 40 as a psychological level, but it's coming right down, man. Tesla dropping a little bit. Like I said, I wonder if there's a little bit of money coming out of some of these names here as we get ready for a big, huge DoorDash IPO. Still nothing I see about anything with pricing on DoorDash, but we're only giving this one to 640, Brendan.
Okay, so speaking of DoorDash here, guys, there's a headline. Did actually come out yesterday in the afternoon after we were off the air, but Square, including DoorDash, as so you can pay for delivery through DoorDash using Square. And they were also just releasing another note on their Bitcoin that we mentioned going back a couple weeks here. So Square having a nice day. 1.6% recent highs here for Square, guys.
You know we love Square.
There we go. We'll do a yeehaw for Square is awesome. And just picked up some Sorrento, but the story for me is going to be now a penny stock, CIDM, shorted that one in the teens, so 113, the last entry. It broke a buck there, and I'm going to see if we can't hold on for a bigger winner. It was an 85-cent stock yesterday, so room to run. I talked about Sorrento, if this thing could hold up at that 860 area. So again, it was a test through that price. It bounced 850s and then tried to come back in. So I'm going to try to bottom pick, risk about 10 to 15 pennies on Sorrento just to see if we can hold this 850, and then decent shot it can get to 9. So it's a tight stop. Normally I'd be shorting something like this. I just think maybe the strength that it's shown can be taken advantage of today. Chris, on the other hand, never gave me an entry at 860. That one's only headed southbound.
Okay, so Tesla there, not good. We maybe take us back through 642. We just got out there at 639, so we'll see. Well, 640 break. So we'll wait to see how high that one wants to go right now. But we are now out of that. It makes a bottom there, 638.
Roku.
Might be worth trying one more chance here at 642, guys.
325 on Roku is where we're sitting at right now, and shouldn't. It is what it is. I mean, you know. I wanted to dip by, and I talked about maybe something in the 317 range if it tried to come back in. It didn't happen, so obviously you're going to be off to the races. I'm going to look for an opportunity possibly at some point, and no chance it'll be at 940 to play the other side of this. But great break. This is why it was on the watch list. We talked about the strength in it. Just got to have the execution sometimes. That's the other piece of the pie. Pfizer, a bit of a move to the downside here, and I say a bit. We just dropped $1 on Pfizer, coming back in and testing VWAP. I'm going to play this sort of secondary fade off of Pfizer. It closed right around this price, 42.56. So an entry point here using like 90s to evens as you're out, not a bad play. But the vaccine name's under pressure. There was that negative news with the allergy or the allergic reaction to the first. I guess inoculations, whatever you want to call it. Vaccinations is the real word. So just got into some Pfizer here. 73s just in front of this little VWAP on a secondary push down. Brennan, what's up, bud?
This little Genius brand's just popping up. NUS. Everyone remembers this one. Back above 175 here. There was news actually yesterday afternoon on this. They signed a deal with LG. So Cartoon Network, which Genius Brands owns, is now going to be available on LG smart TVs, guys.
Ooh.
So quick scalp there on Pfizer. We'll just line that one up and knock it out. If there's a catalyst, then we'll play it. If we can break through previous close, that's what I'd like to hold through. But I just mentioned to you this was previous close here, 42.50 range. So get some out in front of it in case that level gives you a bounce. That's the name of the game. I'm going to reload into GameStop here. Just got some shares in the 70s, but I want to catch more around this like 14 even area. It's bouncing here right now. If it holds a bit above, I'll probably just take it out and look for another reentry point. But that doesn't seem like it's the case.
Yeah, no, we just got some more there as well. 80 and 93s. We've destroyed this stock today. We're still on a 3-minute chart. I don't know why. We're going to wait for it, though, to see what happens now. We go short. I'm trying to get some more upside, like Neil mentioned there. I'm down with that. 14.11, 14.10, something like that, if we can go. Tesla, I don't know if it was good out or not. 64, 640. We lost there, so we lose one here today, and that was Tesla. We're going to try it again if it does get above the 642 level, and then we'll use 638 as the bottom. We're going to give this one more shot. We're not down that much on it, but that was a $6 hit there to the downside. So we need to make that back, and I think we can get it back to VWAP. It will trade as it trades. I'm not looking for $6. We'll see if that can go, but the downside for this trade would be $4. So you got to have some kind of a ratio in there, right? So here we go. 638 is going to be my out. We are now long 642 again on Tesla. Let's see if this one wants to go. And here it goes, up $2, but we need more than that, guys.
Yeah, and speaking of needing more than that, I wanted more than that to the upside on Snow before playing the fade. Looks like it turned on a dime. Like basically those levels that we're looking at, that 407, that will end up being the top. It's back below that 400. It is broken yesterday's low, but it just bounced a couple seconds ago above that 386 bottom that it had in the afternoon. I'm going to be playing off of this level if we can. You get some consolidation here sideways and head back down. Maybe Snowflake puts another push in. Otherwise, let's see if we can't retest back into those 90s. I'll go short in front of that 95, 96 area and then wait for it. And then just take it into that 400, see if you can't get back to this bottom. Pfizer just got back into flat. So this is one of the things that I thought might happen. We'll bounce off yesterday's close. If it holds VWAP again, I'll get into some more shares and then maybe do the same thing, rinse and repeat a scalp trade, try to hold through for a push to the low of the day.
GameStop looking to take some levels out here, maybe 1450 coming on GME. Let's just wait to see here. It's going upside right now, but I still think, obviously, the rhetoric behind this name is negative, so we're still okay with that. I was literally sitting at 1411. It went to 1410. Wow, that would have been a good short for me all the way up there. We did take more Starbucks. Thank you for watching here. We took some more at 60, out there at 77. We're going to use a downside break of 101.50 here for Starbucks. So watch out for that trade as that's looking to come back down in here. Remember Investor Day, I got a little excited about it. So we're going to go up to 102 here, but here it comes breaking back down. Watch the NASDAQ. It's going higher. The ES is going higher. Guys, we're at all-time highs again. So the market is not sleeping on anybody as we just continue to rip upside here on the ES and the NQ. Let's just let this party keep going. GameStop now back down into the 90s as we just discussed. Good trade there.
Yeah, I just got that reload back into Pfizer. Right around those mid-70s where we had it before. Going to touch on Chris in just a second, but Brendan, what's up, bud?
I just had an alert, guys, on this QuantumScape. QS back above the open price there on a volume spike. So we are positive on the session. All-time highs as far as trading is concerned for QS today, 26% so far.
Yeah, actually, remember we said we'd have this one on a very, very tight stop. I risked, only $1. Like I said, only risk $1 here, and I know it's put in a $15 range, but if I'm going to catch it off the open in that first couple of minutes without something to play off over confidence or better levels in an opening rush, that's what we do, tight stop. But now I'm eyeballing this 75 and change. It's like 75, 60. We're just pushing into this. We can take another tight stop trade here, and this stock has been so strong. That's why I will not have any shorts that are going against me, $5, $10, even if it can give you that big of a move the other way. And it is worth it. This could flush 10, 15 bucks. It does, to me, it's not worth risking $10, $5 worth of gross. So I just got into this one now off that 75 area. A little bit wider of a range than when I shorted it the first time, but it's already shown a little bit of sell action in it. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Chris, trying to get back to 8. I was looking to fade about 8.25 on that if you're watching KRIS. CRIS. What am I talking
Chris, Ruth Chris, not the steakhouse. The steakhouse, I think, is bankrupt. Okay, I think they announced that last week or a couple weeks ago. Ruth Chris there. 645 here was the top. Should have noticed that. Was busy looking at other things. We talked about GameStop. We talked about Starbucks. Tesla bounced a couple times there, like more than a couple, 4 times off of 645 in a 1-minute period. So that's no surprise that we are turning back down. I'm still using this bottom. Look, if we lose on it again, we lose on it again. But that's fine. We're trying Tesla here. I like it to the long side. What can we do? We're day traders. I mean, I would hold this, but we got to get out at some point. Here we come right down to the downside now, 638. We're going to get out just a slightly lower than that if that does break. I'm so pissed off because GameStop, my order is right here at 14.11. No idea why, but that was a good short up top there. So maybe we'll adjust that, put it in here somewhere. So we do make sure to get that short. We are now short 89s. I think we can retrace at least back to 50, guys. So that's the play we're looking at. The other spot we have on is Starbucks, looking to break 150 right here. NEO on the look again, as always, as we are still awaiting DoorDash and AI. So we're waiting for that. Yep. I'm going to show the imbalance locator in a minute. But look what's happening. Basically exactly what we said. I'll check Palantir. If that's going down, then we called all these plays, guys. Money coming out of some of these stocks and back in, getting ready to buy some of these new IPOs. But I don't know if that's true or not. But here goes NEO. We already cracked yesterday's bottom that we wanted to look at there, 45.70. So yeah, I think it's a pretty bad move here for NEO to the downside. We don't have anything. We should have.
And I'm trying not to let this go parabolic on me, but QS makes another break, so another tight stop. Actually reversed and scalped along off of this one, but it's a couple of shorts that have been very, very tight stops because I want to leave some room. It's DoorDash day, so you want to make sure you leave room for that. But also, in this stock, I just feel when it does come in, it's going to be worth it. And I want to make sure I have some bullets left on it. Brendan's name, that Archon, man, there was a really, really fantastic opportunity at the open when it pushed into that 3 level and then is absolutely dying. Like, it's a dying quail here. So Brendan mentioned he saw no news. Yeah, this is a monster one. I hope you still got some of this, Brendan, because this is falling like a rock. Brendan, what's up?
Yeah, that 3 level did hold. So a nice little reload there. I want to talk about XPEV a little bit. Remember, the pricing on this offering is down at $45, guys. So we're at 47 right now. NEO heading southbound in a hurry. XPENG kind of holding here around this 47 so far.
It got me out at 47.50. I'm still waiting for a re-entry point here. It's back to my original price, but it'll have to push through the actual, where it turned around, that 46.65, 46.50 area. GameStop, I think I just got a few shares there. No, I did not get filled yet there above 14, so I'm going to look to see if I can get some more of that. Chris is heading to an 8 level. Now, I like 8.25. But there's a bit of a seller at 8 even. It might be worth maybe even just a scalp trade if it holds up and bounces off at one time. But either way, 8.25 is what I like. This is what I meant. Actually, it's chewing through that like a knife through butter. So forget about that 8. Looking at 25. Brendan, what's up?
I just saw this Stitch Fix from yesterday, if you remember. SFIX popping up once again, kind of mirroring what it did off the open yesterday. Nice push up to 54 and then right back down. But looking strong once again, 5% for Stitch Fix, guys.
All right, we didn't get our GameStop short again, but we'll wait to see if there is going to be a spot where we can actually get it. But okay, Tesla bounces basically off that 638. We didn't get out on our Tesla trade yet, so we're going to wait to see if that does break. It's like hovering near there, so I don't even want to average in. Normally I would average into this trade, but I'm not going today. There's just too many opportunities I feel for this. So that goes all the way down to 637 there. We did not get out, so we're going to wait. Our out was very, very close to that level. So we'll wait on that, see if we can't make some moves there. There's GameStop. We just got our average in. I told you I wasn't going to wait for 11s this time. We got 9s or 6s or 7s, whatever that was. So now there's the average in. Look, if this breaks 1420, I'm reversing long. So just so you guys know that about GameStop, I will be going long through 1420 if that does come through. I took a Rolls Royce here at 85. Not doing anything, but we'll see if we can make a penny on that one. So that's that trade. And then other than that, man, our Starbucks looks like it wants to break. We're just going to wait a couple more pennies through a 101.50 break. It looks like we should have took this once their meeting started, but not yet. So we're going to wait on that one. Neo, I know you have, I was talking about Neo, but I know Neil was looking at XPEV there. I don't have anything on that.
I got shook. I always use the Allen Iverson references, but every short that I have on now, GameStop, we already won on that, but the second entry is slightly against me here, but the other ones are still in the money. I just, again, rinse and repeat in Pfizer here, just because off 75, it goes back to VWAP. Scalp in front of yesterday's close. It's now trying to break through this 50. The rest I want out in front of the actual bottom. I did get into Chris. 825 was where I was looking for. Thank goodness I changed my mind and maybe pulling the trigger on an 8. I've already scalped some out on the way down here. It broke 8 even. I was able to take like a 20 cents, sort of a 15, 20 cent area. And then from there, I want to get some out at VWAP. And then 750 looks like a decent level to me as well. So 825 is the out. I'm really not risking more than like 10 to 15 pennies. That's why I take some profit when it got to that mark. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another one coming back to the downside here. AMC, if you remember, had a big move up yesterday. We mentioned there was some debt raising. They were talking about how much money they're going to require to continue as a going concern. So AMC up here today, but fading this gap. 420 was resistance right at the open. Huge volume, though, at the open for AMC, guys.
Okay, yeah, we're looking at that AMC. That's a good COVID play again, but again, pretty risky on some of these names. You got to be ready to hit those ones when they come. AMC. Talk about hitting something. Here comes GameStop, man. It's going to go through 1420. We are going to go long if it does do that. That's GME here, 1420. It's bounced off there a couple times. It looks like it's getting ready to ramp up. Our out will be low 14. Sorry, again, probably 1390 or so. Here it comes, man. We'll reverse out and hit the long. So now we're back long here on this one. GameStop, I like the long better here, but we'll see. It's not a crazy aggressive spot, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, my stop's actually at the quarters. I mean, I sort of default to those, but I'm out of it now. I'm not going necessarily long, but the reason why you can like the long on something like this, over 100% of the float is short that name. Also, see this very, very tight stop on Chris, took some profit, 15 cents. It then came right back and blew through the 825. I will go back to that 860 level that we liked before, pre-market, and see if we can't get an actionable trade there. I also want to come back over to Roku if I can. Look, it's still going upside. I mean, there's basically no turn yet. It is trying to consolidate here, and well, it is consolidating right here at a 327.50. It looks like there might be a secondary breakout. I'd actually prefer if it dipped down in at least tested back to like 24, 25 before it made a break. So hopefully it does that, and then I'm going to look for a bit of a break at 27.50 on Roku. But I wanted to test the bottom first, maybe even catch a VWAP bounce. Brandon, what's up?
Some of the EV names, guys, we haven't been talking about over the past couple of days starting to pop up here. Ride just coming to my attention on volume here through 2025. Took out day highs there. So Ride Lordstown starting to move to the upside.
And it's backflip central. Bang, we do it again on the long side, guys. I liked it so much, I take it twice there. In 1421, in again 1424. Now we're up to 60s and 70s on GME. It's a banger right there for you guys. So hopefully you have that. Hopefully you reverse long. I talked about doing it. I gave it to you well in advance there. Big time trade there on GME. I just tried to get some more out in the 60s. It's blown off the top, so we need to get this out. Do not let it come all the way back. Give me some more shares. A 30-cent win. Like, we beat this thing to the downside, guys. Like, we get short, get out some, get short again, then lose 10 cents, and now make 40. I'll take it, Brendan. What up?
In the tweet that was yesterday from Citron Research on that Luminar, they mentioned that VLDR stock. Apparently, Amazon, guys, is a $300 million customer of said VLDR. So just popped up on a volume scanner there, 7.5% for VLDR, not LAZR, guys.
Not laser. Okay, I'm definitely about to have a look at laser, but I wanted to make sure I just got my orders ready to go. I would have loved if we had tested lower on Roku to maybe catch like a 24. That hasn't happened. It just made the break there through the high of day. So I just got into position. I paid up, like 30 cents or so of slippage from that breakout price. If it retests 25, thank you, Larry, for the reload. I'm not going to burn my hand this time. Look, Roku, I think maybe 330 is reasonable to scalp a little bit out. I would have liked the dip. That's why I guess a more shallow initial target is going to be in store here. 330, not even a bad place. And if it bounces down, I can reload at 25, 26. Or if it breaks through, you can always add on another breakout trade through 330. But Roku, the gift that keeps on giving, just shouldn't have missed it off of the open. But these things happen. You got to move on to the next trade there. And, definitely a great look at the break to the long side on GameStop, Sean. I feel like my bias got the best of me there. But that's one thing you have to be able to do as a trader. Switch gears. Forget about your bias. Just trade the action in front of you. Brendan, again, what's up, bud?
We mentioned Baidu, guys, on the upgrade side of things today. This is why we look at them. Baidu, 4.8%, 147.5 down here. We're at 152 now for Baidu.
All right, I'm just going to get out if this does break back down below here. What a big trade. You're welcome. I did want to say a big thank you here. I got to pull this upside to show you. Thank you so much, Sergio, for the $5 contribution. You're welcome for those trades on GameStop. And then also Mims Creation, welcome to tradertv.live. For the less than the price of coffee, you can become a member. You get to be green there. And then also you get, I think it's coming up, I don't have the buttons up right now, but coming up next week, I believe it's the 14th, next Monday, anybody with us will be able to submit questions and answers. We're going to go live with you guys. There we go. Out of GameStop now. Big trade alert. Well, it's still in, but got a little bit out there at 14. We are going to be coming back live on Monday, guys. So you'll be sent a link for all members. You get a one-on-one with all four of us. So that should be hopefully exciting for you. It's exciting for us. Tesla bounces again off, man. This level probably should have built some more longs. We're still happy with 642. Let's hold that one close to our shoulder here, chest, and watch out for that. Thank you so much, Rolling Records, as well, for the smooth 5. Look, everything helps. We do the show for free, and I want to thank everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's get going, Tesla, man. Nice little bottom here, 639.
And, the market's still, kind of flat. We actually just got back to positive on the dime on the NASDAQ, but Pfizer not back to positive. It did break yesterday's close price. I said I'd get out in front of the low of the day. There's 42.26, I think we got out there. So nice 50-cent winner. And again, that was always going to be the range. We're playing the pullback into VWAP. We got it a couple times, scalped it in front of yesterday's close, and then held the rest for that bottom. Those were the only targets I had in line for Pfizer. Likely to be done that trade. It looks like we're having some trouble getting to that 330 on Roku. I was going to scalp some in the 29 range, see if you could take $1.50 on it. But it's looking like it wants to maybe give that pullback trade as well. So I still like the pullback, and I will try it, just not quite there yet. QS, on the other hand, is still marching to the upside. I still want to take one big shot at it eventually for rollover. Maybe it'll be if it tests at 80 top. But each time I'm trying to have smaller risk in terms of the growth you allow to go against you. At some point, it's going to be worth it. I think the retracement could be big when it does come in, maybe like $10, $15 type of a move. It did do that in the pre-market, but I was never willing to trade this in the pre-market. Volume too low and spread way too large. Let's see if it isn't that 80 level that we can take advantage of on QS.
So this is Tesla, and then this is me. We go falling down in a hole as it breaks again. We tried it, man. We were $3 in the money. We lost 6. Then we went $3 in the money and waited for it to try to break VWAP up here. Never did that, man. So there it is. We get out again. So a total loss here of about 6 or 7, that's $6, and then again, 5, so about 11 there on Tesla to the downside. I still like a 640 break. We'll try it one more time and use whatever the bottom of the day is there for that one. I mean, look, NASDAQ's moving upside right now. A lot of these names coming back down, so that's okay. I mean, my account can hold, that's for sure, those kind of losses. So Palantir, we talked about it coming down today, but right now we're in this zone again. Like, there's so many stocks that are bouncing like this right here that are kind of making highs and lows. I'm going to take Palantir through 28.40. That's this little wick. Let's call it. Let's wait for 28.50, but definitely 28.40. We'll take a little bit more here at 33 if it breaks. We'll take small, but then we'll go bigger at 40 and 50 if that does break. But that's Palantir. I like it, but we'll see. It's a funny day today, as we've already discussed.
Yeah, I mean, let's remember, guys, it's DoorDash day, and I think that's going to be front of the mind. I mean, I have a level 2 that has it up. I know it's a little bit early for that, but got to keep it close to the vest here when it comes to this. I got wicked out of the rest of my Chris short, only to see it, basically come through that top, slam right back down. Now we're back at the 750 range. It's still holding some of these levels, higher lows being put in since the open. I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to stick with this area for sure. Maybe next time it comes up here, give it room to like 40 or so. If it ever breaks through, I still like that 65 as an entry. Roku can't get out of its way. I mean, the first move was so big. Now it's just like, go in the money, 50 cents to $1, and then come right back. Sort of in a range-bound trade here. I'm still looking for it to break to that 330. Maybe add on a 330 break as well. But it's 10 o'clock, and that means happening now with Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, already 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets. So we have record highs here, we have record highs here, and record highs down here as well for the Russell 2000. So 1, 2, 3, all in record high territory. Right now, the NASDAQ, not so much, kind of flat overall for the NASDAQ. Right now, a little bit to the downside for the NASDAQ 100, but everything else nicely higher on the day. Here in Toronto, the TSX a little bit lower, negative 0.06%. BOVESPA down in Brazil, same story, about 0.25% to the downside so far to start. We did have Chewy on the watch list. Just want to mention this one, guys. Huge volume. Doesn't look like huge volume compared to the open, but huge volume came in as we broke back through 76 there. So big buyer stepped up on Chewy there at 76, took out a bunch of levels. So volume spike there. They did not like this report, though. The selling off the open there down to about 74 for Chewy. I want to mention this one as well, that PaySafe SPAC from a couple days back, BFT, back into yesterday's kind of levels where we closed yesterday, trying to hold around this $13 level. Decent volume again on BFT from the watch list this morning. One more to show you here. Yeah, STM, great move down off the open there. This is a huge gap, 12% still, but it is trying to bounce as well. Decent volume on STM Semiconductors. Guys.
I was going to have a look at that one, maybe a little bit close to the European close. Here's the pullback, and I just got one leg into Roku on the dip. Tried another one a second ago and did not get the fill, so maybe we'll base out and give me a shot here around this 326. I actually got some shares at 326.32. Was actually trying a little bit lower than that when it tried to come down. It bounced off 25 at least for now. If it goes, I don't like an even stop, but it'll be right around that 25, maybe a little bit, a tick or two lower than that I'll get out. I won't give it all the way back to VWAP. Same targets will be in play out in front of that 330 mark, somewhere maybe more aggressive in the 28 range, given that I've done the dip buy here. But I still like that 329. I still like adding through 330. All those things remain in play for now on Roku, but the dip buy just came in just now. That CIDM, which I actually thought that when that broke $1, it would absolutely die. And then we'd already be sitting at like 90 to 95 already, deep in the money. That hasn't happened. It's found some support at 98 cents for whatever reason. So I had orders at 98, which now I feel like if it prints that price, it's probably going to give me 3 cents better. So I might as well throw my bids down in the 95 range. It hasn't given me a pullback to add. But I'm still hanging on for those bigger wins beneath this buck. I'm not changing it from 98. I'll start taking profit at 95 instead.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so we're looking at a whole bunch of different names here as we go, guys. Breaking levels and breaking necks, some of these markets right now. Okay, we're going to watch out here. The NASDAQ coming back down. What we just talking about there was Tesla, and that broke me out of my long. But we got back, of course. So we already talked about that long. It goes right back to 640. I'm just holding out hope that this goes at some point. We're going to use 635 as an out, and I promise you that'll be the last one. So we'll wait on that one now for Tesla. I just think we can make this back. I think we can get upside there on Tesla, the name that everybody loves. Why did it fall out of love? I don't know. We'll see today. I think some money's just coming out of it. It was so superheated. We did see the move that it had yesterday in the afternoon. So not that this is going to happen again, but we did make lows and then ripped up about $20, $30 in the aftermath yesterday. So we're going to watch out for Tesla here. Still long 640, but giving it to 635, and then we'll tap out, guys.
There we go. I'll hit my Deshaun Watson key here. Roku pulls back in, and I don't know. It's the puke key, allegedly. But I just say it looks like Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
It is what it is. He's a great quarterback, by the way. It's just, I'm going to retest a Roku if it can hold up at VWAP here, but I had a 25 area stop. That's what I wanted to play the break. I got greedy, didn't scalp out. I then got the reload that I wanted. This was a dip buy, part and parcel of the same trade. I still like the idea of the long, but it's now starting to, it just tested this VWAP. Now it's coming down lower here. And like I was about to say, if it breaks at 24, I would take a shot at the short. And of course, as it happens, I'm sitting there talking about it, and then it comes in there, guys. So I was going to see about a long trade if it bounced back above that 25 mark. But I'll take a tight stop short just in case this is some kind of a gap fill in Roku. It's different from all of the other moves up in the last few weeks in that it hasn't been gapping to the upside usually. Usually it's been trading up intraday. This was a gap and a bit of a run. So, you know, that's why I'm at least willing to try the pullback trade here. It'll be a tight stop like in QS because keeping a lot of things tighter to the vest today because of DoorDash. And that's just one thing you got to do with traders. Actually, in the 1 o'clock afternoon meeting on the floor, which is done by Zoom, via Zoom, that's one of the things we talked about. Do not get shut down if you plan on trading DoorDash.
Yeah. That makes sense. Shutdown means, losing more than your daily limit, of course, than you're willing to lose on a name. So we'll wait for that one, and I'm waiting for DoorDash eagerly, just like all of y'all are as well. GameStop back down to $13.98. We're holding a small piece, but we're out of GameStop. What a great trade that was for those of you that watched that. We went short here, and then we ripped the long off right there. And as you can see, we're holding a small 10%, and once it breaks this VWAP, we will be out. I'm going to use this bottom here, 85, the same look that we had early on that name. So we're going to use that as a name. AI still not open. Let's take a quick look here at the imbalance locator. So DoorDash right now, I don't know, Arun gave us this tip. This hasn't changed, so I guess maybe it's still 102 it's looking like. And then AI, both with big bids, as expected, like we mentioned, guys. We are expecting big bids to come through on these names. Ignore everything else. Everything else is done right now. So it's just these two right now that are still getting ready to pair off. That's Dash and AI, Brendan.
Another day, another all-time high for this one as well. I mentioned it earlier, but we just cleared this high, guys. 54.95 there. All-time highs for Stitch Fix today.
Actually, I was just looking at something which is not making all-time highs, and that's Snowflake. But that's going to be another one. The tight stop on that Roku trade, going to be out of it. If it gets back into the 330 range, which we still like, that's when I'll try to play it. I think it might end up being an afternoon play. Who knows? That's a total guess that 330 will be in the afternoon. It certainly could be in the next 10 or 20 minutes. Snowflake, on the other hand, did give this push back into that 400 range before falling off yet another cliff. And we talked about, I'm frustrated with this trade because I did want to short this one. This is the only thing I talked about with regards to Snowflake today. And you just had such a nice level in front of that 400. You get a fail break at the open, right back into that resistance in the high 90s, and it gives you the good fade. Watch out for this. I'm not saying it's going to go here anytime soon, but just watch out for a couple of days ago. We had this bottom here at 370. If it gets to that and cannot hold up, I mean, there's a heck of a gap below it in snow. So 370 should be a bit of a level. I'll be watching that, but more importantly, yesterday's afternoon bottom, 386. I'll short that pullback. Brendan?
There was a couple of headlines, guys, that came out right before the open on some of the airlines and as well some of the cruise lines. They're just updating cancellation policies going forward over the next few months. But just noticed AAL here. It did come down to 18 at the open there and held nicely. So trying to bounce here for AAL. Definitely some relative strength in the airlines, guys.
American Airlines. Okay, GameStop's still there. Tesla's still that dollar out, so we're going to wait for GameStop to break like we already said. And then Tesla, we still got that at 640. I don't know. I mean, the market's coming down now. This looks like it's going to be weak, guys. We are prepared to get out of this one at 635. Like Neil said, though, we've already got the math done on this, and we are nowhere near worrying about it today. We only have one losing stock. Actually, Starbucks breaks lower there, but again, that's kind of meh. The only real stock that's done any kind of damage to us today is Tesla. And here it comes, man, right back to the downside. I wish we would have taken the opposite think here. Like, if you go short, I was just long, pretty much bullish on this stock. So that's why. But, you know, if you go short there on that break, that's kind of easy. And then you can be going short here at 640 instead of long, like we chose. So right now, we're going to have to suffer through this a little bit. Not a huge position, but still negative on the day on Tesla. So darn it, last day we made that $12 or $13 off the 600 long. So we're going to be giving back some of that today, and that's just what happens. Rocket today, RKT, RKT was up nicely today. I think it went back to 2150 or so. Yeah, 21 and a quarter, but a nice drop here on Rocket. But look at the market. So no real surprise this is happening right now, Brendan.
There was a little bit of a headline on this one as well, if it will ever load. My window is taking a long time. Over in this corner, you can see Zentech up big today. I'll show you the chart in a sec. Their PolyZen data collection platform. This is a biotech company. Came back with positive trial data from a recent trial. So yeah, 310% for this XBIO today, guys.
And the move up through 80 on QS just happened, and it snapped back down here. You know, 15 minutes is going to be horrible to show you. There you go. A 1 minute chart. The breakup happened. I was looking for a rollover there. Of course, it didn't happen, so I'm not going to get into it. I was trying to look for a turn, maybe thinking it would be at 90. It turns at 87, and you can see what's already happened. So again, I didn't chase it once I wasn't able to catch it. It's just what it's going to be here. Not a day that I plan on doing that at all, chasing things too far. If you start showing it like 83, you know, risking like $4 there. That was never the plan on QS today. I'm anticipating maybe it'll catch a little bit of a bounce, and maybe it retests that 80 to 85, or 80-50 area, and then I can play off of that. That'll be an idea for QS, and I'll definitely take a look at it. I just want to come quickly back to Pfizer because it's making a bit of a bottom, a double bottom off of this 42.15 low. The market is starting to roll downside here, and Pfizer about to break the low of day. It just did. Just jumped into some shares there. 15 was the low. I actually just got some at 42.14. So double bottom just broke. I wanted to get to that Pfizer. I was only shorting the pops before, but with the market also heading southbound, the negative news, you know, approaching 3,700 and break even on the ES. Let's see if this name can push through that 42 even mark.
JP Morgan's still pretty high on this move. And you know what other name I like here? So we got, Tesla broke and we're out. We talked about how that was a dangerous, slippery spot there. So dropped it again. So 3 longs, 3 outs, all negative. Flushing Tesla down said toilet now as it goes. So we're going to watch out for that one. I just did look at JP Morgan, but again, not much. Their mRNA moving around as well. We talked about some of those BioNTech, some of the Pfizer names today. So we're going to watch out for that as this is moving down 2%. Look, the day may be getting a little frothy here at the top. We just were at all-time highs not too long ago. So again, this is not a big surprise to me that the market is coming off here. The ES right now, though, looking, there it is. A nice big candle. We just turned red right there on the ES, breaking back down through 3,700. We got to find some shorts. What's up, Bren?
Just seeing, this is not the first time, but I'm sure it won't be the last either. But AT&T, guys, getting bids once again for their direct TV products. So 3% here. I did see this, I guess it was there, on that initial break to the upside. But a bit of a pullback here for AT&T, but having quite the day, 3% so far.
I feel like we know this story before. Like, certainly not the first speculation, but Pfizer, I talked about this 42 even. Market pushes down into 3,700, and the off chance that it bounces off, I scalped every single time the initial short scalps them out for a smaller win. Because it's 42 even, that's why I'll take some off here at like 05. It'd only be like 9 cents. 10 would have been a better target, but that's sort of a rationally an even number. I want to be adding through a 42 even break, so I'll just jump right back in if 42 breaks. Or if it pulls back into this like 20 to 25 range, I'll probably play that trade as well. It looks like 42 break is likely to be the first, and wow, that was rather fast. It's like second time this has happened. It's like as I'm saying it, you get the break at 42. So I just got into some shares there, back into Pfizer. We had scalped out initially. It looks like we're headed southbound. We're now at 36.96 on the ES. Pfizer had its own news, but it's likely to follow the market, which we are going to know as well. So taking advantage of that. Maybe I should have held this pullback trade, but the whole time the idea was to get out in front of that low of day. Thankfully, we re-entered a couple of times here. And, you know, it is what it is. Like, I like Pfizer, but the trade is to the south side today, so I'm trying not to fight it too hard here and just go with the direction of the momentum.
Yeah, we're out of everything right now. I think we got to go over to something else, maybe a CCL, something that we are pretty familiar with. $24 here on CCL. It's still up today, so that could be something that we could trade through here on this negative move down in the market. You could see today a big. I don't know if there was any news on this. Oh, still looking for a way forward on COVID relief. So about a minute ago, some negative talk there on a COVID relief stimulus plan, I guess. Carnival today not doing anything. Bad look on that one. Let's check to see Roku. This might be a good opportunity to buy the dip in Roku. But then again, if money's coming out of these names, guys, out of the market, they'll come out of the highest flyers first. So watch out here with Roku already breaking. You have a 318 bottom here possibly coming for Roku. What's up, Brad?
I was just going to show you this as well. There was a wholesale inventories number that came out there right at 10 o'clock. That was a little bit on the downside. So we had, 1.1 versus 0.9 there for wholesale inventories month over month. Sales were actually better than expected, it looks like, though. 0.8% versus 1.8% for last month, guys.
And XPEV, we'll take another shot at it because the first short got shaken out. Just got it below that 46 mark. It just broke. And pre-market low was at 18s or in the teens. But either way, 46 is a nice sort of round number. I am still watching Snowflake. It is bouncing a little bit, but it hasn't actually bounced up back into that 85, 86 range for a test at that level. Pfizer's back to that 42 even. We have been scalping out of that, but I am still looking to maybe pick some more shares up if it makes a bit of a pop into that 20 range. But for now, I'm going to start working into an XPEV position. Of course, I always look at that previous low in the pre-market. Let's go to the one. Previous low in the pre-market, like for that 46.20-ish range, is a possible rollover point. So I'm going to, if it stalls out, give me sideways action, that's where I'd like to pick up some more shares. I would scalp probably some of those out in front of the current low and then work it down to like 45.50. But there's a big gap below this price that we're at right now and the next support level. So I think it could be a good one next path, but the first one didn't work for me. Let's see what happens here. Also hunting for Snowflake, but it seems like that's not going to happen. Just headed back southbound once again.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get into Neo, but I'd rather get into the long, but I don't really see anything unless 45.33 is something that we want to watch there. I was saying watch out for Roku. It's still okay, but this was kind of the level here that I was looking at. We dropped through there. We bounced off of 45.30 a couple times. This last time, once we broke it, obviously the third time there on the ES, you saw what happened to the market. It got flushed out. So Neo going to get flushed out as well. 45 a possibility here. We're down quite a bit off of its all-time highs of 54, but we're still up huge on this stock. These are kind of these levels that we're at right now, 44.84, 44.85. We could break down 44.50, today's bottom, and a nice little top yesterday. So I think if we can get closer to 44 than we are right now, then this is probably a good buy. Check back here on DoorDash, 3 million shares now to buy. This doesn't really mean anything about anything. We're going to find out. This could be 10 million, this could be 20 million. 20 million would be something, but right now we're going to wait to see what happens with both C3 and Dash looking to come soon, hopefully for you guys in the next hour, so we can all trade this for you on the show.
Yeah, that's the key. We know what's going to be interesting. We want to be able to bring it to you, but we'll keep getting any indicated price opens for you live here in the show. And Brennan's going to keep giving those updates to the desk.
I was just looking for something on 10-cent music, but I don't see anything, guys. 52-week highs. Blackstone lowering their stake or lowering their position in this one. TME, look at the move, first of all, it had yesterday from 1680 up to 1780. We're at 19 coming here for TME, 52-week highs, guys.
Man, I talked about like tighter stops in some of these other trades, but I'm giving some of these not enough room, and Chris is certainly an indication of that. Definitely didn't give this enough room to the upside here. Now it's approaching that 7 even mark. Now this was some support pre-market, just caveat, of course. That's on a heck of a lot lower volume. It's out on 50 million shares and still going. I'm going to look at that 7. If it gets any kind of a bounce, it might be worth sort of a tight stopped a long idea there. It did react positively, I guess I want to say, to that big time dump on the offering. It found a nice little bid around that 7 off the initial flush, so maybe there's some buying that steps into it. It'll have to be something in the 5 to 10 for an entry price. That's all I'm going to be concerned with. Snowflake just broke 380 again, so shorting the pop's not the way to go in this name. Breakdown trade was not what I was looking for in Snowflake. I wanted to short, like I said, any strength. It looks like it's about to break the low of the day here, 378. From there, it's just not a heck of a lot of support. Some big-time gaps are going to start to open up maybe in snow.
Yeah. Right now, it's tough sledding. Tesla right now, 633. I like this NEO. I've looked at this a little bit now. This 4540, just using like a 4510 as our out. If that does go, this is a 3-minute chart. Let's pull it over here so you can see a little bit more. 4540, this is where we stopped. The first time bounced back up. So as you can see, the market trying to go here. So I think this is a decent spot right now, 45.40, Brendan.
There's this new, I was going to say hydrofacial, but there's this new SPAC today. That's the word I was looking for. Every day there's a new SPAC. This one is VSPR, 10%, just popped up again on volume here from 11 to 1150. Hydrofacial, the company going public. It's about 1.1 billion with a merger with BOVESPA. Healthcare acquisition, guys.
And there's the bottom break. I mean, the spread opens up a little bit on Snowflake, like 50, 60 pennies. Still hasn't had an offer below this 78 price, which isn't always a bullish sign. Bearish sign. Now we finally have one. So work it down to like that 375 area. Now, I wanted the short pops. We didn't get them. I'm going to do the same thing I was doing, or at least trying to do over there in Roku, which is scalp into that first range. If it breaks 375, it's not a horrible place to consider adding to the position. But 380 is a good psychological level that we're going to be working off of here. So I'll take that with a bit of a grain of salt, because the spread could open. So you want to say to yourself, if it breaks 80, you're probably getting out in the 80.50 to 81 type range in a worst case scenario. XPEV does move southbound for me here, but not necessarily enough for me to get that out yet. So I'm still looking to cover the first little bit of that position, probably get the 3/4 mark. Pfizer is still moving downside, only 10 cents in the money. However, I've already scalped what I will out of that name.
I want to talk a little bit about rocket companies here, because I think this is a decent opportunity to get this back upside, especially if the market goes. $20.80, a good long. We'll take some shares for sure on this one. I'm going to put in a decent amount here, 20.80 if we can get that. And then, look, I'm always happy using 50 as an out. So if we could do that, that's well worth it. So that's what I mean. You got to have risk and reward. We talk about that all the time on the show. And honestly, guys, like if you're going to go long at 20.80, and put a decent percentage of what you're willing to trade with into that trade, then you got to have an out that you can hold, right? And I can hold a 30-cent loss. So that's what my play is going to be there. We're going to try to do that. And again, we'll see what happens about the upside here if we can get back to 21 and change. We'll take some off before then. That's just how I trade. But we're going to wait to see what does happen there with that one. But yeah, my eyes are going everywhere right now as we just continue to look. There goes NEO. So this was a break that we liked as well, 45.40. So we are into this one. It does go only as high as 44, but I don't consider this a false breakout. Let's just wait to see if it does retrace back down. We'll get out before 45, but we are long NEO right now, decent position at 45.40.
And mRNA was another one here that we were looking at in the morning. I thought maybe there'd be at least a little bit of a bounce to be able to short off of, but this one again falls off a cliff. There's that 170 break, and yeah, pie in the face. When we talked about this name in the pre-market, we did talk about shorting it through 170. Just didn't catch that break. And at 9:30, you have to prioritize, because there's no way you're going to have 4 or 5 breakdowns or breakouts at that same time popping in on momentum names. You just can't do it. So you do have to pick 1 or 2 at the most. Probably picked the wrong one, because Moderna is looking pretty good here. It's actually put up it's trying to hold a bit of a higher low here at that 165 range. I'm not going to be bottom picking on this name. But if you're still holding this level and we get to the afternoon, maybe post hype of a DoorDash, may be worth at least a little bit of a look here on mRNA. So it's on the radar. Pfizer just pushed down to 41.80, so fresh lows on that. I'm looking for 41.50, a bit of a bigger move. Well, it's already made a big move to the downside, but a bigger move on this re-entry at 42 even, guys.
Okay, there goes Neo now finally maybe thinking about some upside moves here. Darn it, it stopped again at 45. So we got excited there and then missed it. We'll wait to see. Again, I'm not trying to take 5 cents on this, but it does look like it's trying to go back down. We'll get out if this does break back down below 45. Like I said, today's a pretty slippery one, man. Some of these stocks, they try to go and then they don't. So watch out here on some of this. Small cap recap time over at the big screen, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, there were a lot of them today, so let's have a look at a few small caps that were moving around. We mentioned this one right before the open, RCON. No significant news. It's a Chinese company, but popped up after market yesterday all the way to $3. We're talking about resistance, $3, came down to support in the pre-market, $3 broke downside. So this thing's still going. We're at 180 right now, all the way back for RCON. NTech, another one. Totally missed this one, but this gave you a great opportunity at 8. Retest of 8 was a pivot here initially. We came down, broke 7, got a retest of 7, all the way down to 550. So NTEC also fading off nicely, was up about 80% at one point. CNET, another one, 43% still, but this one also just falling on its face right now. 280 to 320. A bit of a consolidation here in the pre-market. I mean, this entry was great, anywhere in here versus 320. Take the break, 280 on the downside, all the way down to $2 now for this CNET. Wanted to show you CBAT from yesterday as well. I had this level drawn from yesterday morning on CBAT. Ended up being a bit of a pivot in the afternoon, but look what happened when this broke initially this morning. 580, it's not a huge move, but straight southbound, 580 down to 550 as well for CBAT. Guys, back over to you.
Now Tesla may be making some bottoms here. We don't have a problem showing the chart. We did take some hits there, but it looks like the bottom was 630. No idea why that held and nothing else did. We did have a little spot yesterday downside on 630. So maybe something there. Again, I would love to play this 640 break again on Tesla, but the luck hasn't been there. And sometimes if you're not reading a stock properly, you don't want to do that. So we'll hold out on that one. The only position I have right now is NIO, and it's 20 cents against me. Well, 10 cents against me. It depends where we are. Now 15 cents. So we'll wait on this one. Just giving it back to 45. If we break there, then we'll let it fall back and wait for another spot to get long. So right now, we're missing out on some NIO money, because we're giving it back right here. Today has not been a good one for me on the electric vehicle side of things, but everything else has been okay, man. We could check back on Starbucks. We could check back on GameStop, of course, as well. Other than that, Riot, maybe Laser moving around today. LAZR, Luminar, we talked about that a little bit before, and this has been a stock that we traded over the last couple of days. Come on, load up. We're down 6% right here. There goes NIO. Looks like it's going to break 45, so my order's already there. We don't have to worry about that. We'll fall down the hole in that one. 39.50 right now on Luminar. I don't know. Like I said, man, this is a pretty funny day today as we wait for the IPOs. Stock's not really moving around too much. Dash might be getting close, guys.
125
auction price, 120. Yeah, there it is. So I want to bring that up right now. 125 right now for DoorDash, and it's already has 650,000 shares left. So we may be getting close. AI hasn't changed yet, guys.
Yeah, so definitely we're going to keep those close to the vest. XPEV here, I got some out at 75. I talked about taking some out at the first quarter. I did get the reload at 46 even, but it's forming a bit of a base. It's consolidating off that range now. It didn't flush to 44.60. That's just a dark pool print down there. If it does make the break downward, I got an order already on the south side of the 50. Now, normally I get it in front of it, but I just feel like if that move extends, you might have some stops that are holding out till 45.50, and those will get me out when that eventually breaks, and then work this one just to see how far it can pull back in. Snowflake took the shot. That one does not continue its move, so shorting the pops, didn't get into the entry points. Again, the breakout with a tightish stop isn't going to work out for us. I still like 400 if it ever gets there. 95 to 98 was the range for an entry off that. It's still all about DoorDash, and I'm going to amend my orders. As the indicative price changes, I'll probably be adjusting some limit orders here. But Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Positive news on Eli Lilly today. 5% move here for LLY. It was actually, you can see, negative down here in the pre-markets this morning. They had a diabetes drug trial that came back with positive results. So huge move here, 5% for LLY, guys.
Gotta get your money into those biotechs. There goes Neo, all the way down. So again, we'll flush ourselves down the toilet. I don't know, we'll explode the money because it seems like we're blowing it up today. We're just lighting our money on fire here on some of these names, including Tesla. Okay, but we are back in. We did hold a little bit on that. We are into Rocket right now, right at this price. So we have 80s. We actually have 81s on that. And again, I don't know if I would have punched in if I would have saw this price there, this size, but whatever. We'll see if we choose this up. Our out's going to be back to the downside. We can make everything back if this goes. So right here, $20.55 or so, $20.50 as our out. We're long Rocket right now. We told you we were going to put on some shares. So let's see. We'll get some out if it comes up to VWAP, which is 95, and then we'll let the rest rock and roll on this one. Neo just continues to drop downside here. We'll get out if it breaks 80, which it might happen right now, but we lost on Neo right here. So Neo and Tesla for me today.
Yeah, there's been some the poo-poo sound there. I don't know. You don't cry over spilled milk. We got this one, and I don't know. You can cry over, if you really, really love milk, I guess go ahead and cry. XPeng here just broke down towards that 45.50. Now, I did say a couple seconds ago my bid is on the south side of that, so if that does break down, I will get out after it breaks instead of in front. I did scalp in front of the quarters. Pfizer continuing its move to the downside as it feels like, you know, the market actually just bounced above, there's Pfizer, bounced back above this 3,700, but Pfizer is still falling like a rock. So it feels to me like if we get any kind of a rollover in the futures here, and we're kind of doing that right now on the ES, I had a bid in front of 41.50, and I might pull this bid if the market starts to roll over here. Now, it's getting close to that mark. It just feels like maybe I should be hanging on to this Pfizer short, especially if the market heads southbound here as much as it's been getting crushed. But this is the one that's really been working out for me, so thankful we've got it. I'm probably not going to get a chance to make that decision, but even if I do get ticked out here for what will be a nice little 50-cent win, I can always just short a break if the market turns here on Pfizer through 41.50. So I can just get back into the same trade. But that's my thought process here on Pfizer.
Okay, so Rocket, here we go, guys. There goes bang, a nice little out 93 there. So finally a chicken dinner winner here. We took a couple spots out. We still have like 75% of this trade. So 80 out here, VWAP. That's going to be a good trade on Rocket. Let's see if we go higher. My next outs are above 21 here. So we're making it, like we said, we're making the money back now on Rocket. So let's go to the high side, Brendan.
I just saw this one popping up as well. Pixie, Shift Pixie. It's an online employment website. Just popping up on volume here. You can see still coming in fact, about to break $3. That was the high after a run up yesterday. So 5%. Going to double check on Shift Pixie. It's 10:30. That means there's an hour left in the session overall over in Europe. Valeria's watching. What's going on over in Europe? What's up, V?
Hey Brandon, European shares are trading higher. Brexit is in focus. ST Micro trading in Paris is down more than 10% after it said it's postponing an annual sales target of 12 billion to 2023. Back to you.
Yeah, we mentioned STM Semiconductors, guys. Primary listing over in Europe. There's one in France. There's one in Italy. There's one in Germany. They're all over the place. You can also trade it in New York as well.
Yeah, we actually had a quick look at it in New York. Of course, the Planet XPEV, it goes right down through that 50, gets to 40, misses me, doesn't pick me up, and then bounces right back northbound. Now, if we can consolidate here, that 75 mark, I'll probably get some out on the north side of 50 this time. Let's not be greedy. Usually that's what we're going to be doing, guys. So I'll just sort of jump that order in. We're in the money here. It is a 46 short that I have on, so it's not that, whoops. And that's what happens when you misprice the order. But it's not that it's going to be a big deal. It's just that the idea was I expected to have a big candle through that 50 mark, and then you want to get out at the bottom end, just improve your price using the momentum in your favor of some stops triggering. Just put it a little bit too deep. That's why I ended up missing out on it. This time, if it bounces off 50, I'll have to take some shares off on the front side after that gambit, let's call it, did miss out.
Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. Look, there's been lots of big trades today, and Neil just talked about not getting too greedy. We don't want to do the same thing on Rocket, so it's up to 2097. Big trade. I talked about, you know, monitoring your own accounts, understanding what kind of risk you can put on and whatnot. So that's why we took out the hammer there, and we took some big trades on there for Where is it? Where's my hammer? There it is. For Rocket, and a bunch of outs here. 95's my best out, 93, 92, all over the place. We just littered them getting out. So we still have 2/3 on. So it could be a loser. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen there. I like the call there. Oh, and Shakib, someone called 21.86 as the high. If that happens, then hell yeah. We might not even need DoorDash, but DoorDash is coming. What's up, Shakib and everybody, Water Nation, Jarhead, everybody else as well. Join it. It's called Hydration Nation. And right now we're trying to chug these out. I'm a little bit behind. You can see it says on here what level we're on. We're at about the 11 o'clock. Actually, I guess I'm not behind. There it is. I'm about right at it, but here's a little note. I didn't fill it to 7, so I'm a little bit behind. I got to crush this and get done with this before the show ends, maybe. We'll see. I don't think I can do that. Be running to the bathroom. This is not a good day, Neil, to be running to the bathroom, just in case something IPOs.
Get your breaks in early is the idea there.
When you are not there.
I stole a couple, and you guys probably didn't even notice that I did, so that obviously worked out. Maybe you did. I have no idea. I want to get to Virgin Galactic. We'll come back. Brendan's got some news here, but I'll come back with Virgin Galactic.
Yeah, just going to mention FireEye real quick. Another earnings name from Aftermarket yesterday. Big flush on earnings. Cybersecurity company. New day low just made there, guys. We made 1360 for FireEye. Big move down.
Wow. Yeah, definitely a big move for
Well,
them.
FireEye yesterday got hacked, right?
Yeah, they did have that hack, but it's still a bigger move coming through. I want to quickly just jump over to space because Virgin, what a move it just pulled in. It pulled back off of a like $1.50 push, pre-market to top, all the way to the bottom, and now we're threatening the high of the day. I like space, and of course we talked about this through 30, and that was a good trade, yada, yada, yada. Long and short of it, you saw how hard it sold off all morning long, and then the morning rush ended, it pulled right back in. It feels like if we can't even retest that high, this has got to be a fade, at least a shot at a fade play for me. So we just got back to this 35.30 is the high of day. It's a good place to take a shot. It's a high flyer that has made a nice run the last couple of days, and you just might see some profit taking, especially now that it just put in another retest of this top. So I'm going to try to get into this. I just got some out of the quarter, and XPEV came all the way back to 46, so not going to look that gift horse in the mouth, and we'll take my profits. Of course, it was a 46 short that we had on in XPeng.
So Chewy finally running. Yeah, FireEye was hacked. Yeah, we know about that one. I just adjusted my order. Obviously, the auction price now for AI changing as well. It was 42, I believe, bumped to 52. So 5 deuce right now on AI. So that's going to be coming soon. I don't know when. Indication they're showing on some other show here, 125 to 130 for Dash. So we're already showing it to you live. Like, again, a lot of trading platforms won't even have this. A lot of shows won't even have this. So if you're not watching us every day, you never know what you're going to come up with. But here we go. AI and Dash right now, 52 and 125, the indicated open. And then AI still, people adding. Remember, Dash was down to 600,000. So even at 125, they're getting more interest. It's still growing, like 980. They've paired some off. 981. Like, it's growing. So we'll wait to see how far this wants to go. But look at Rocket Mortgage, guys, looking to break 21. And your boy had this one. That was a big one there. Oh, actually, before we go to Brendan, I want to hit the, whatever. Let's go to Brendan.
A little one, real quick, guys. Greenwich Life Sciences, microcap biotech or pharmaceutical company. Sorry, they focus in the cancer sector. So GLSI. This has been just a halt fest all morning. You can see the last one was actually news pending. It was quite some time. Just reopened up at 25. So huge move here for this GLSI.
Yeah, and just got in to that Virgin Galactic. I just talked about it very quickly so you guys know what I was trying to do here. I got 99, so basically right at that 35 mark on the way back in. It was consolidating here off of this high. Now, I'm showing you guys a 15-minute chart just so you can see the action yesterday up at that top at 36. If we break and make a new fresh high today, 35.30, that breaks, I'll get out, risking 30 pennies. I think we can get back down. Look, we just went in the money like 30 cents in snap of a finger. Once it breaks that 70, I'll get some out. 30 cents initial target, 30 cents worth of risk. You know how I usually do these type of trades. So that's the idea. Already in the money on Virgin Galactic. I like it, but after the way it sold off yesterday, I had to take this shot.
So I just took some more. Yeah, Virgin Galactic yesterday, big trade for sure. And moving up yesterday, today, opposite day, I guess. $21. We just took some off again on Rocket. Look at the market, guys, coming back down. Like, I believe we have this one, so we're going to do backflips on this because it was a big trade. And I really do wish that we could have held this for longer. But right now, look at the market just puking off here. That's the NASDAQ. You have the ES as well coming off just even more today. So watch out, man. I mean, it's not even peaking that much, but we just did break that 3,700 again, or we tested it actually. We did not break it. We held. Here's what we're talking about. Here's the ES here with a little bit of a 37 break. Look what happened when we broke it finally to the downside. We only went down 5 handles. Like, I mean, Neil, we talked about the market used to move 20 handles in a matter of seconds. So 3,700 still coming into play there. So I guess I take that back. We're not really tanking. The market, though, is heading southbound. So we did peel off some more of our rocket trade there, rocket companies. As we wait, guys, still, this is what AI looks like. I don't forget about this. Forget about the chart. But this is what the level 2 looks like. Nothing right now. We're waiting for that to open. And then here's Dash, both on the NYSE. So no one's going to buy it at 3,000. This could be one of you guys, right? You put in an order at a price, and then you're going to get whatever that opening price is. So as long as the opening price comes southbound of any of these prices, they're going to get it. And just like there are people here willing to sell, someone's willing to sell off the open print there. I don't know how they have shares, but 23,000 there off that. So as you can go, there's a whole bunch of orders here. There's 25. That's what they're, I guess, right now. Was it 25? Let me have a quick look one more time. Oh, no, now it's up to 30. So I don't know if it's getting closer or not, but we do have 130.
To be honest, if it's moving that much, I feel like if it's moving $5 every couple of minutes, and maybe it's not quite imminent because you want to see that settle down or hold a price for some time. But again, this is all speculation on our part. The wizards that make these things happen are on top of it here. I keep adjusting my orders, though. I have like the highest point. I use limit orders. We talked about this, but you can put a limit order to like $1,000, and that means you're going to get in guaranteed because it's not opening that high. I want to come back to this Virgin Galactic. I only got one out. I was trying to get some out in front of VWAP here. The first one did fill when 70s broke at 66, so we took like a quick 33-cent win. I wanted to get more at VWAP. It just bounced right in front of my order here, but still rolling over. I still think it has a chance to break through VWAP ultimately, so I want to make sure I hold on to a quarter or third just around that range. Maybe we get back down to 34 even and get a $1 win on Virgin. Brendan, what's up, bud?
So we were talking earlier about the negativity surrounding Chewy, the move down earlier. We got back above that 77, 78 area I was talking about. So this is now all-time highs for Chewy, disregarding, obviously, this aftermarket action. 3+% all-time highs after this morning, guys.
You're going to hear me say yes because I am an investor in Chewy from its IPO, just like we're trying to do today with DoorDash. But we're trying to buy DoorDash on the show. Here, 81, yes, thank you, Brendan. Wow, making my day a little bit happier there. And it's funny because one of the richest guys I know is my personal doctor, and he asked me for some tips. That's when Chewy was at 30. So the next time I go for my physical, I don't know when that's going to be with all of this, but I guess we can do one over Zoom. I don't know, but I don't know if that will work. We will wait to see here what happens, but $82, sorry, looking to break right now on Chewy. What a dramatic move upside right now. Want to give a shout out to my friend Daniel Shea, and friend of the show as well there. She's been a big Chewy fan. Maybe I'll tweet at her soon. Up to $82. I don't know. She plays options, so if she has anything on this one, congratulations, Miss Daniel Shea. Okay, we also do have Rocket. It doesn't go down as far as I thought there. $20.87 right here. So I'm ready for this to take off. I don't know if it's going to take off like a rocket, but hopefully it takes off like hot dogs.
Huh?
No idea. Trying to spice things up here with the hot dog gun.
I like it.
I mean, I'd hit the hot dog gun. Is that on the board?
That woke me up. I was like, what? I'm going to put an order in here in CIDM, and I'm like, hot dogs? Yeah, take off like a hot dog. Why not, guys? I was adjusting my order in CIDM because this 98 level, forget this. I'm not taking shares out here. I'm going more short at this break. It's just been so, look, it's held it all morning since the open. This is also psychologically $1. I'm in the money already on this thing. Why not have a shot at a bigger gap for a retracement fill? I mean, if this breaks, yeah, let's see if we can't get right back to yesterday's close at 85 even. So forget about it. I'm not taking shares off at 98. I am jumping back into position for the same amount that I was taking up here at 113. So that's going to be the new plan here. Just broke a buck again, but I'm adding when 98 goes. Let's go to Brennan for Sector Watch.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500. Still seeing 130 to 135 on DoorDash. So we'll keep updating that as they come in. Overall, the market 0.9% to the upside. You can see pretty positive right across the board. There are some standout names here that are very negative, though. This TALO down 18% in the energy group. The entire sector, otherwise, though, in positive territory along with oil prices today. UNFI over here in the consumer staples down 16%. Want to flip over to PLAB 19%. Right above that, CATM in the software group. Though up 32%, so kind of offsetting these two. This MTSC, if anyone has seen that today, that's a buyout. That company's being bought up 49%. DBD, there's KN here as well on the negative side of things in the hardware equipment makers in the tech group. But this group is definitely positive on the day. There's GME, there's DBI. If we come up here to the consumer discretionary, retailers, though, very strong otherwise, other than GME, DBI, and this HIBB. So this group definitely in positive territory. Again, there's like these individual standout names kind of offsetting the gains overall. VRA and the durable goods here down 7%. Everything else positive here. Consumer services, same story. Pretty much the entire group in positive territory. And the industrial sector also having a nice day, guys. You can see capital goods, pretty much the entire group in positive territory. AMWD, AV, 7.8, 7.8% to the upside, leading the way. I saw the airlines on here, but they have disappeared as I am talking, but usually in this group here. But some of the airlines were making moves early on. They must have faded off. But industrials, consumer discretionary, and tech stocks making up decent gains so far for the market, about 1% right now, guys.
There we go. And as I mentioned on CIDM, I just jumped into position once again, that 98 area. I'll probably add to this one throughout like 1 to like 102. Stay on the southbound side of that trade. But XPEV here, you stare a gift horse in the mouth, and I say don't do that. And then we did do it. So you're going to see my outs here when I did short this 46. Boom, at the quarters. Each time. Obviously could have taken a 50-cent winner and then gotten more out, but then there's break even right there. I wasn't going to let it come back after making that hard of a push off of that 45.50. So breaking and then failing. Anyone that goes short on a 45.50, it goes 10 cents in the money, and then sort of jiggles them out, and they're sort of saying to themselves, "Oh crap, I got to give it to 46." Bigger move. That's why I'm going to get out here. Maybe it rolls over. I don't care. Now that wasn't my plan. I'll walk away from that trade sort of happy with the discipline not to be mad that I missed out on that bigger move to the downside and still took it out flat. I just got some shares out there of CIDM in front of 95, so I'll sort of have those some more bids in front of 90 even. 85 yesterday's close is the actual target for all of my shares on that name. Brendan's talked about it a couple of times. I promised I would at least look at STM for you guys heading. Oops, this is Milan because that's what I usually do. But let's look at it over here in New York. I thought maybe there'd be a shot for this thing to pick up a bit of a bottom before the European close or going into the European close. That hasn't really happened yet, but it's trying to. So that's going to be the first look for me, is whether we hold some consolidation here. And maybe right after Europe is closed, you might get a bit of a spike or something like that in the U.S. But that's about an hour, actually less than an hour away. Europe closes at 11:30, our time Eastern.
Roku coming right back now, 326.50. I think we'll take a small one here if it does do that. We already have a nice little bottom. So again, we're not going to put, there goes Rocket. Hallelujah. So bang, one of the big trades that we've given you today. We'll hit this because we didn't do it when, I don't know if we did it or not, when Chewy was up, but there it is. There's Chewbacca. We got some calls for that on the chat. Look, guys, I talked about it. You guys wanted to know, and this is, again, coming from Twitter, some feedback from you guys. They want to know, what trades that we're actually putting decent shares on in, right? And so here's another one. I gave you 42 yesterday on Pfizer, so you heard that one, and that one ripped a buck and change. And now here's another one. I gave this position to you guys, Rocket, with a big trade on here at 2081. Well, I even discussed the downside here of 2050. Make sure you don't put the right amount of risk into that one. But there goes Rocket Mortgages, Rocket Company, up to the upside there. We did take a little bit off. It was dancing a little bit around 21. So we had more outs there than we had wished for. But that's okay. I mean, we're losing 7 cents on the high side, but nice little out there. Do as you please with Rocket right now. But there it is, guys. A nice little 30-cent clean win. Just nothing but upside there if you were along with me. Hopefully you have that trade. Breaking now through 21. And again, I have an order to get out here in the teens. So we'll wait to see if there's an order upside. If it does wick up, hopefully we get that. Maybe I'll take a little more out right now as well, but good trade here for me. We'll see if we can break the high back in this game here on Rocket. And still waiting for AI and Mr. Dash to come through. Other than that, man, oh, damn you, Tesla. Tesla now making the run. I picked bottoms a whole bunch of times, and every time we picked them, we wound up doing nothing with it and lost. So a big loss today for me on Tesla. Not big, but big enough that I don't like it anymore. And there it goes now. Tesla is starting to get ignited here to the upside. Thank you so much, Jose Calbero there. Where is it? Read over here for your $10 contribution. Thank you so much, Jose. You've been a long-time watcher, and that's great.
You guys are thanking Sean for Rocket. I'm going to thank Sean for pointing out Mark Jones, the Super Chat. Now, I would love to tell you what brand shirt this is, but I actually would have to take it off my back and look because I'm not going to lie. My wife picked it out. Let's be real about it. I'm not going to look. I can't lie to you guys. If I knew what the brand was, I would tell you. Maybe I'll get a quick peek and let you know, Mark. Maybe tweet at me or something. But thank you for that. It is, it's kind of like the inverse of Pew Capital's trading vest or trading shirt that Arun wears. It's close. But Brennan has some news for us, I think, so let's go to him.
Yeah, not news, but just wanted to mention Workhorse also. Sean was just talking about Tesla starting to get going to the upside. This one's still almost 5% to the upside, just bounced off 22 there on that last little pullback. So Workhorse also very strong today.
We're staying hydrated over here, and I think you guys should do the same thing there. I'll find. Again, I got to erase this thing. Like, I have a bunch of useless things on here, so we're going to get rid of them. I don't even see that there's the Hydration Nation, so what's up? We have these little boards here. They're called Stream Decks, so Stream Deck. So if you're interested in that, pick one up, but they just trigger certain things, and that's been great. So the only position I have on right now is Rocket. Look, I'm really just hoping that DoorDash and AI C3 come for us. AI, where's Dash? Oh, 135 is maybe it's getting closer. But look at AI right now, guys, 62. This was initially 42. What? So you are now doubling up here on AI, as it looks like that one's going to be a moonshot as well here today, up to $62. Initially, C3 came at 42 initially, so I put my order there, and now I got to adjust it again. I put one at 55. Now we got to wait upside on this, and then look at Dash is holding it still, but backflips and a banger as Rocket Companies goes to the upside again. Nice little banger right there on there. I like what someone just wrote there, Trader Joe. Nice one. Banger breakout. I like that one on XPIO. So good one there. And thank you, Bjorn, for that update between 135 and 140. We're going to keep on trying it. And there's Cryptonomics there. Rocket Boom. Yeah, hell yeah on the Rocket Boom. Let's go, guys.
I'll tell you why I think Dash isn't imminent. It's just because you look at the actual open interest compared to AI, and the fact that it's smaller, forget about it. Like if the imbalance is smaller in the overall paired volume added together is going to be smaller than AI, then there's a ways to go for more orders to still come into that one. So that's going to be my personal idea there. It is what it is. You can take that with a grain of salt. It's going to open when it opens. I think we all know that. I got out of XPeng, and I sort of said to myself, if it goes down from here, so what? It'll happen to you. It feels like it might roll over one more time, and I think I don't want to get too far away from this because we did initially pre-market talk about this 44 level. That was going to be the ultimate target. I think maybe even on like a 45 break, we can catch something like that. Or, if it really snaps back into this like 46.50 and then fails one more time. So it tries to get to the upside, which hasn't really happened to any strength yet. That could be another way to get into that short. Bit of a buyer on CIDM at 95. I did take some shares out in front of it. I'm considering adding to my position if 95 breaks. This one looks really, really weak today. Brennan, what's up?
This laser, guys, interesting look here. We're coming back into that support from yesterday throughout the day. Got down here to 37, so we're kind of fading off again from 41 down to 38 right now, but 37 down here. Definite support in the afternoon yesterday following that Citron tweet, guys.
Yeah, Citron always messing with the markets, guys. We're going to tweet this out, our rocket trade, just so you guys can follow and watch, see the logic here behind some of these trades, and just try to get you guys a little bit better for next time, for myself, for all of us. Because if we can help each other out with some of these plays, then that would be fantastic. And you guys do give them to us all the time. We just got hit. We're going to wait at 12. There we go. This is the level that we said we were waiting at. So if we can just get a little bit of 12 action right now, there it would go. And that's going to be a big trade, guys. 40 cents right now, or 35 cents on Rocket. There it is, a nice little out. I mean, whatever, man. We'll spin the money on this one, because Rocket's been a big trade. And again, that's what you guys wanted. You wanted to know what trades that were actually taking decent positions in. And there's one right now on Rocket. So a nice little move to the upside. AI, I'm going to keep checking this because I know there's a lot of you interested. Now 62, we talked about that. Oh, there's Dash moving around. But Dash just got updated again, guys. 140 right now on Dash. So wow, lots of action coming through here on DoorDash today. I mean, wow, to talk about the interest is huge. I would say that that's misleading. But there it goes, bang for Rocket. Hells to the yeah. We did it on this one, guys. This saved us here. Rocket, I was talking about, the hits we took on Tesla, the hits we took on NIO. Screw you, electric cars. But we are back into the finance business now. Let's hold some mortgages, guys, with Rocket companies. 21-23, bang! We're slaying it, Brendan. So with that note, we're going to throw it back over there on Tesla long. She's going Matt Murphy. Yeah, my bad. We had Tesla. If I was a holder of a longer term position there, we would still be on that Tesla, but we had to get rid of it. What's up, Brendan, at the big screen?
Hey guys, yeah, let's talk currency land. Let's go to foreign exchange world and have a look at what's going on so far today. Pretty positive right across the board. There is overall US dollar weakness to contend with. I threw the Australian dollar up there on the board. You can see one of the biggest moves up here so far today. 0.65%, 0.7% for the Aussie, back to 74.5 area. We did get above that last little line of defense as far as resistance. For the Aussie, they were talking about more of a wait and see approach when it comes to interest rates in Australia overnight. So that sent the Australian dollar a little bit higher. New Zealand also following suit here, 0.17% to the upside. There was a Bank of Canada interest rate decision this morning. They left it unchanged as expected, but not a huge move for the CAD. Still sitting around the 78-cent level, guys. We are up 0.1% for the CAD today. 0.1%, yeah. The euro negative on the day. The pound is also positive. 134 did get retaken. So support at 134 for the British pound over the last little while. We are back above it, guys.
Thank you very much. And for those, I saw a few people asking in the chat or maybe unsure about this. We're day trading. Well, not yet, because DoorDash hasn't opened yet, but when it does, these are day trading accounts. So we're going to be in and out of this maybe multiple times whenever it does indeed open, and the same thing goes with AI. We'll be flat at the end of the day. So, for me, I'm not even a huge lover of the long-term hold in that business. I think Airbnb is probably just, and we all said this when Mark came on this morning, Airbnb probably seems like a better one, but that doesn't mean you can't play the trade. Now, I talked about layering my orders to sort of have some bids, indicated opens like 140, so you can have something like 150, 160 all the way down. And then if I get the full fill, it means it's open at a bit of a lower price, and a more reasonable price in my estimation. But constantly adjusting to whatever the indicated open will be. I got to get to the one position I do have on, guys. It's just that CIDM, and it was a great pre-market rollover, but once it held this shelf at 98 cents and $1, it was like, why am I not just jumping? Look, the floodgates are going to open up if this thing breaks, so why don't I just join the party? So that's what I did here, 97.5. It just bounced off of 92, well, 91 and change. So you have seen me get a bunch of shares out here. I still have half the position, and I still think I can get to 85. That's what I'm holding out for. I still have some bids down here, actually. One fill left in front of 90. Once that goes, it'll be half the position exactly, and then work it down to that 85. So CIDM, good one, Cinedime. It looked like an obvious rollover play for me. It's been trying to break out. You sort of look at, and see all these levels here, but you sort of look at this like 90 area last time. It's 85 to 90. It gapped up once, held that as the top. That's why I think it could be support. That's where my target is going to be. So both on the daily chart and looking at yesterday's closing price, that's why 85, it remains a target on Cinedime.
Yeah, okay. A lot of stocks ripping now. I see Fastly. I see a lot of talk about Fastly. I see a lot of talk about Softy. I don't see any talk about Softy, but I'm going to talk about it. 215 here. Sorry, 214.60. We're not going to take the 50 break because we're bouncing around right now on a 3-minute. I like the 60. Let's have a quick look to see what this means on a 1-minute chart as I just double check to make sure Dash didn't fill, but you'll know when Dash opens up, believe me. Okay, that's 60. Yep. Yeah, let's go long through 60. I don't know, 70s there. Let's wait for this. So let's wait for 70 on Microsoft. 214.70. I see everybody in the chat, man. Look at AMD. AMD, I love AMD. And again, missed opportunity on this one. Wow, to the high side there. I see Fastly as well. I'm long in the 70s on this name. And I think a lot of you guys are as well. We did talk about this name before. They power the internet, basically. And one of their biggest clients, TikTok, and I'm not sure that's going anywhere. I wonder what's happening with that TikTok deal.
They got good. So the deal's kind of dead, but they got good news, man. That injunction, like basically they're not shutting them down. They weren't going to enforce it until the judge ruled on it, and the judge said no mas, no ban for TikTok. So that's positive news for Fastly, like you just said, Sean. So great look. Brennan, again, what's up?
Just saw a note on this one. Grow Generations, GRWG, down today, 7.5% on an offering. So they had an offering announced actually in the pre-market. Just going to double check on the size, but overall, not a huge move. We're still, above yesterday's low here at 31, but 7.5% for GRWG.
That's what I said. The first thing I did was look for where Sundial was at. I'm like, was that short? Yeah, that actually gave a bit of a short. That's what anytime there's like negative news in this space, it's like, okay, can you short a penny stock? I don't know, it just feels like an easier thing to do, and go with the lowest hanging fruit for trades instead of beating up on a strong name like Sean has mentioned. I'm going to go back to Roku. I know we have like half an hour, and everyone's concerned about AI, which could open soon. I'm not sure yet, and the same thing with DoorDash. But obviously Roku was, can I say the one that got away, Sean? Because
I'm in it now, so we're going to see, but we definitely, we missed 316. It was on, sorry, I had 315 written on there. There's 315. Oh, let's check BFT as well to see what that's doing. But yeah, go ahead, Neil. I'm in it on that break.
All I was going to say is, like, you had this level that's about to break out. Now, obviously, I like the breakthrough. I actually still am looking for a 330 at some point if it shows that kind of strength. I like that breakout. But if we fail to make this fresh high, in through like say 27.
Look at Rocket,
I'm gonna take a shot at a consolidation below VWAP. I did try to short this once and it didn't work. I tried a long once, it didn't work. The real long was in the morning that got missed. It is what it is. But I will try a short. If it cannot break through this level here, I think afternoon I may take a shot at Roku below VWAP. I did a similar play in Snowflake and that worked out for me. 2-3 o'clock. I'll do the same. Well, it was closer to like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I'll do the same thing here in Roku if I get the chance. It could break any second now, but in case it doesn't, that's my plan. Consolidation below VWAP, get a bit of a rollover, maybe add to a position at like 322.50 or so, but the initial would be around 24.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm long Roku there. I'm going to give it to 324 as the top. But check out this rocket trade, guys. I hope that it definitely rocketed your accounts as, now up 6%. And I'm now in the money on this long-term trade on Rocket as well. So that's going to be good. I think we take off from here. And let's just wait to see. I still think we need to get above $24. We talked about that. But look at this trade. Like, how pretty does this look on a 1 minute? In there, never goes against us. We get a whole crap ton out here. Look at Rocket now, 21.42, 59 cents now in the money on Rocket. So keep on going, my friend. And we hit that one. Faux show. Superman in the building with that Rocket trade. We fell on our face with Tesla earlier, but making this back right now on RKT. Big trade there. And right now, I want to check the imbalance locator quickly again. Still 140 for Dash. And AI, AI now 70, guys. That was 42.
That one.
That's a double, guys. Almost.
So I know we're gonna go to the European update, but I actually don't think I won't be getting into AI off the open. Rocket's still not Rocket on the brain because it's a good trade, but maybe still over in DoorDash, but certainly not an AI at this point. Let's go to Valeria at the big screen. It is 11 o'clock. Time for our European update.
Hey guys, European shares are in positive territory on the vaccine news and Brexit talks. Britain is up 0.27%. Germany is up 0.69%. Italy is up 0.02%, and France is down 0.11%. Airbus trading in Paris was up more than 1% earlier today after Britain said that it would suspend tariffs on US goods from January 1st. Now stock is down more than 1%. Back to Neil.
Thank you very much, Valeria. I want to go back over to Stitch Fix just if I can. This one's still pushing the highs, but it did make one turn shy of 58 even. Of course, successfully managed to trade this one yesterday. Today, an even better breakout trade. We traded both directions, just sort of scalping it. Was like my number 2 stock yesterday's action. Did not get the breakout. It wasn't necessarily the first thing on my radar, but I am watching heavily at this 58. It looks like it's having a shot for rollover. This is a time of day where I'll put this type of trade on, where it's used this consolidation or sideways, or even this breakthrough 56.50, and then give it to high of day or 57.50, get it down to VWAP like 55 or so for a target out. So that's the plan here in Stitch Fix. Missed along, but this is that time to see after this deceleration if it can roll over. Brendan, what's up, bud?
No reaction whatsoever. Just checking Pfizer here, right at day lows. Just saw this note. That is not the note, but apparently Health Canada just approved Pfizer's and BNTX's vaccine for Canada, guys. So news there on Pfizer and BNTX, but no bounce so far. Still very weak for Pfizer.
Well, that shows what everyone thinks about Canada. No, that's just not necessarily going to be gigantic. Obviously, approvals are going to start coming all over the place. And yes, we're a decent-sized market, but it's just a drop in the bucket with our population size. So Stitch Fix, I'm not necessarily getting in right here. I would have liked to see if I can get something northbound of 57. That hasn't happened for me. And it is a time of day where you can kind of be patient with it. So still just have half my CIDM position. I'd love to take more in front of a buck. But it's showing not much of a bounce at all off that 90, so might not be able to get any more shares of that. I want it between 95 and 98, where the breakdown did happen.
Oh, I guess I just came back, and yeah, I guess Roku did break there. So we took the breakout and then lost. Small trade. I mean, we're just trying to make something happen here as we wait for DoorDash and AI to come through. But that's a loss there on Roku. But I didn't even notice it on my P&L. Okay, Rocket, guys, a good out there on the upside. Still 21.60. I mean, this is a monster trade there, and we just took some more out at 60, and now we hold less than. We have 5% now. We took a lot out here, but then all the way up, man. Nice outs ahead of 25, and then another percent there, and then out there at the top, and that was a good out. So now we'll wait with 5% left. I don't have any targets to the downside. Maybe we'll get out right here, 25. A break of 25, and we'll get out of our last 5%. But yeah, that was a money one for sure today. Going, man. Great trade there on Rocket. Really glad that we were able to put some shares into that one. Look, we already called this. Everyone's saying, like, why is Palantir going down? I told you at the beginning of the day why some of these names would go down, some of these high flyers that have been going crazy. I think there's a lot of people pulling money out and putting money right into this imbalance locator. So they're either going with AI, I believe. Uh-oh. Dash must be getting close, guys. It's up to 145 right now, and we're all the way down here to 357 right now. So Dash and AI, both. I could actually isolate these and only show you those on here, which would be easier for me. But there's Dash. Let's check out BFT. Okay, BFT was at 1350. We were long yesterday here, 1280. We tweeted that trade out. Someone asked, where do I put the long-term positions? I do tweet them, so follow there. But right now, BFT up 3%. Darn it, man. We could have made $1 almost on those shares today, but I believe in this one, so we'll see longer term on BFT. Surprised it didn't go today. Look at this big size, though.
Stitch Fix starting to go down, only about 20 cents in the money, but they got that rollover off that high of day that we just pointed out to you guys. Have not gotten, we broke VWAP on Roku, but I didn't get into position yet. If it comes back, maybe retest like 24, 25, I can actually get a little bit closer, tighter into that trade. It just hasn't happened for me. I will get into it rather soon. The indicated open just keeps on changing, and I'm not sure it's going to be necessarily imminent, but I already said I'm already probably going to be out of AI. I'll probably still trade it, but I'm not going to take the opening print automatically long, like I still plan for some of DoorDash. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Going to be tough to see here, but I'll show you this real quick, guys. Yeah, the imbalance shrinking, and so is the indicated price now shrinking, guys. The last one here, 125 again to 130 for DoorDash. So we got up to 145 to 150, but it's coming back in now with the actual imbalance, guys.
Let me check our imbalance locator here because We obviously didn't see that. Let's just have one more check here. We still have 145, but obviously that report should be the same as well. So we'll wait to see. We still have 145. We have AI at 70. But now that those reports are coming out, Brendan, that only means one thing, that we should be imminent, needless to say, as they get ready to figure out the price of Dash. And when that comes through, we will put it up on our screen so you guys can see exactly what we do with DoorDash coming up very, very soon. So should be a fun one, guys. Let's see how far this one goes when it finally does open. But Rocket, good out there at 60. We are going to give it back to the downside, 21.25. Just got to make sure I have that order in. Yes, we do. The other order we have in is Microsoft, just in case the NASDAQ decides to go. I do like a Microsoft break upside of 214.70, so we're still a ways away, but I do kind of like this break. I don't want to average in. This is just way too choppy today for me. We take the cleaner moves.
Yeah, and finally to get into that 324 on Roku. Sort of talked about this in case it rolled over, but it has happened. It's still trying to put in this little uptrend, but it's forming a bit of a wedge here with the same high. That's why I kind of like it for a rollover trade. Now, for some people, it still is going to remain a potential break through that 27 into that 30. I'm looking at the 30 in particular. Instead of the 27, I'll be long out of this one at about 25. But the idea here is I would be adding to this on a 22 break. So if it starts to go, I want to add in the money, not out of the money on Roku. And then if it slides through this 21, you're probably getting a test back into 16, 17s in that case. The other trade, of course, oh yeah, just slipped in the money a little bit more here. Stitch Fix like 30 cents. If it gets through 56.50, I'll start to take that one off. And I still can't get more of Cinedime. It just, it can't get up to that 95, 98 range, which is good. But it also means that I can't jump into more shares because I feel like that one's just going to go down all day.
Man, am I pissed off right now, because look at Neo, man. We had this one. We had it in a horrible spot, 43.40 there, 45.40, sorry. Obviously, it's in the money now, but when it just dropped down, this trade was nothing. But that was the big out there, breaking through 45, and now you rip through. I should have paid more attention to this here on VWAP. We should have been taking this trade. It's right at 45.50. That's a beautiful spot. You guys know we like that. But I don't know if I would have gone into this, because we did have a lot of this action right here. To me, the missed trade here on Neo was probably, honestly, right where we got in the first time. I really think that if I would have been looking at this, I probably would have tried one more time. Sometimes the reads that I have are good instantly, and sometimes you need to get them the second or third time through. So that would have been a good one there. Really happy we have Rocket that's going back up to not the all-time highs. I hope it goes there eventually, back to highs. Workhorse is a name, though, that we haven't looked at. And I know Brendan gave us some news on Workhorse earlier. You're up now 5%, 4.5% on Workhorse. And look, guys, we are building also a level here. It's 11:08 now. I really hope Airbnb, or not Airbnb, that's tomorrow, Dash and AI can open so you guys can see some action. But right now, Workhorse just making a little bit of consolidation here. Bottom 22, let's call it, and a top of 22.40. So we're stuck right now in a little bit of a spot, Brendan.
Okay, so it's bouncing around all over the place. The last one just came in here. Now back to 150 to 155. So went from 125 to 150 to 155, guys.
And it's back, just to show it again, it's back to a huge bid again. So I don't know what to do with this one. I'm still trying to go long. I've lowered a little bit of my expectations on share size, but we'll wait to see here. It's 150. I remember Snowflake just kept going up as well. So we'll see if if Dash can do that one. But this trade that I'm really on right now, and back to all-time, all-day highs right now, 21.65. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold on this one. Someone on the chat made a call, 21.86. I may just put a fun order there to see if that does get hit. I'm actually going to do that right now, 21.86. We'll put a little bit out there, see if we get hit on that. Good call, whoever made that.
And what made you say Pfizer?
It was on there, but...
I was literally about to just talk about Pfizer, and then I'm like, what? Did you see my screen or something? Is he standing behind me? Does he have eyes in the back of his head? I don't know. Either way, Pfizer catching a double bottom off of 41.10. The answer to did I get out of the short too early ends up being yes. But where I got out ended up in this 41.50 level, ends up being the bottom consolidation range. So if you use this, it just pulled right back into 41.50. I'm going to see if I can't pick some Pfizer up here in front of 50s. You look at that low a day, it gives you some support on the double bottom. Maybe you can get back into VWAP here, but I want to make sure I get a price tighter to that 50 mark where I got out earlier, and it's put in a bit of a range. Stitch Fix in the money. Roku trying to grind out of it. It's gone from like out of the money 50 cents to back to flat. Not really going anywhere around VWAP here, but if it does break down, I want to be adding to it on a 22 break. I don't want to have too many positions on, so it'll probably just be these 3 NCIDMs not doing anything. In the event that AI opens up, and of course DoorDash, I'm not taking AI anymore off of the open, market on open order, or automatically getting in with an aggressive marketable limit order, simply because it's just indicating way too high for that name in my opinion anyway. So I might trade it after the open, but not going to take it automatically.
Okay, guys, check out DraftKings, going absolutely nuts. I cannot wait to end the show to check out the own personal account with Rocket. Today he's not doing anything really, but DraftKings right now, rumor of New York State finally going to be legalizing gambling. I didn't even realize that was a state that didn't do that. So you want DraftKings? Get it now, because the minute that this happens, guys, I mean, New York is a completely different beast. So if I think gambling is going to be popular here in Toronto, I can't even imagine what's going to be happening in the streets of New York. As I did know that, actually, now that I know that, because the FanDuel location is in Jersey at the Meadowlands there. So that's why it's not located. Like, imagine they put a DraftKings office in Madison Square Gardens. I mean, people will be betting on like concerts and stuff like that. But big time move up here in DraftKings. Hallelujah. We've got this one in our personal account. We gave it to you. I'm long 35, a little bit embarrassing. We'll have to cash them out. I thought I heard Brendan.
Yeah, guys, just wanted to mention, the pen going on that news as well. But I just wanted to mention this one, CGC, just popping up here on a volume scanner. There's some headlines coming out on Canopy in regards to some operational changes they're going to make. Looks like 220 employees getting laid off. They're going to shut down some facilities to try and save some costs. So CGC starting to get a bit of a bid on those headlines, guys.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, just starting to approach, even on the day there, gets that 29 area. That could be a bit of a juicy look. I actually like this, if it pulls back to like 86. VWAP, call it like 65. Either way, there was a consolidation earlier between that 65 and the 70, 79, 80 area here. So if it pulls back in, maybe gives you a base for the long. I'm not jumping into too many other positions at this time of day. And that's simply to do with DoorDash and AI. It's really nothing else. It's just I want to have my attention in the right place, I think. So that's going to be the name of the game. No guarantees here, Sean, that we do open up. The amount of jumping around that you're seeing with the price, I think that's a bit of it's not a concern. It's just that it feels like, how can it actually be imminent if we're constantly back to 150, AI now 78, constantly jumping around here. So the more movement, it just means that they haven't really settled on an open. And that means it could drag out just a little bit longer here, of course. You'll know if it opens up, because one of our traders will probably start screaming at the top of his lungs, or we'll get excited and heated. So you'll know when it opens up. And if you're watching on your own, level 2, whatever it might be, there's your look there, guys.
There it goes. So we're going to go long 52. We are long now 52. The reason why, we're late to the party, I understand that. We're going to see if we can just risk $1 back down to 51. And then I think we can make $2 here, about $1.50, maybe $2 up to 54. We did have a high there of around $54 on DraftKings a couple days ago, let's call it back a couple days, the 30th of November here. So right now breaking through, you see we just took the long right there. So that's a 20-minute chart, but right now we are long DraftKings with a target, some out 53 if we're lucky enough to get that, and then we'll take the rest out on what I think could be a 54 pin. So here it comes, man. A nice little 50-cent win right now, as money coming in and out of the market with DraftKings right now. So put an order out, man. 53. Yes, another 50-cent win for us right now to go along with. Yes, sir. There it is, to go along with our Rocket 80-cent win, guys.
Yeah, definitely a good look there. It's not like Yahoo action. Someone asked it. Someone said Tyrone Biggums, and that's going to stand out because I love the Chappelle Show. Look, I've already said a couple times, DoorDash. This is a trade for me in terms. Not DoorDash. Yeah, this is a trade for me. Airbnb, I think, is going to be the better one, but it's going to be in and out. This is going to be a day trade altogether. That's all it's ever going to be there. I saw a good question there from Dan. If there's some way that we can maybe tape it, it's not a horrible idea. I can tell you we didn't look into that idea, so it's not something we actually talked about and planned. So no promises there, but it's not a bad idea in the future. So we'll definitely think about it. Brendan, I believe, has something for us.
Actually, 155 to 160 now, guys, as the auction continues for DoorDash. You can see, as of 11:14, anyways, 155 to 160 now, guys.
Of course.
I mean, what are you supposed to do? I don't even know. Hell yeah on DraftKings. Thank you so much. 2 perfect calls after. Yeah, so we've had perfect calls on DraftKings. I feel like that was a good one. You're now 60 cents in the money. Take it if you want. I've already given you my targets as upside here. Just as a tip, I'm sitting in the 80s. I'm not giving it all the way to 53. We'll see if we get out in the 80s. I'll consider that a nice little win there. Not just because it stopped at 73. I don't care about that. I just want to get out a little bit ahead of 53 in case there is a pushback at that level. I don't think there will be, but the target here is above 54, but I'm going to take out half if I can for 80 cents, and that way make this what it is right now. I don't know, I heard Greg there. I don't think anything's ready to get opened yet. Dash, big time again, still the million. Both these stocks still at a million right now, 78 and 155. Get your orders in ASAP. Who knows when it's going to happen. Here comes DraftKings. Oh, man, Donkey Kong, come on, man. You almost hit me out there. We're in the 80s. Again, it went as high as 77. Either way, man, nice little trade. Russell Wilson no longer cooking anything up, but we're still cooking up winners as we go, guys. Seattle lost to the Giants, so I think that's enough said about that.
The Giants' defense is underrated. That's the only defense I will give Russell, that they probably don't get the respect they deserve because the offense is so absolutely terrible. I want to go back to Chris. Now, I sort of talked about this. If it bounced off of 7 even, look, it got to like 7 1/4, never really testing that 7 even mark. It is what it is. Maybe could have taken a shot a little bit earlier on it and given it more room. That would have worked out for you. But it's getting back to this 825, 830 area that we liked before. This feels like, and if it breaks through, this feels like it's going to be a break towards the high of the day, a bit of a jailbreak. So I want to be on board with like an 840 break on Chris. Maybe take it into this like 30, 40 cents into the 880 range. Get out in front of 9 because I still want that rollover at 9 even. I am going to add to my CIDM position. If it does get back to like this 98 area, it's just at 95, so it's creeping up. It looks like it might give me a re-entry. I got half out on that break. I still think you can get to 85, but might reload in front of a buck first.
We just got out at 50 there, 53. So we did get out of half. I'm not going to wait for 80 anymore. It kept bouncing around. We got to make sure we put some money in the kitty there. So DraftKings, nice little 55-cent win there. I mean, we knew it could come back down. My target is still 54, but we will get out if it does break back down below. It comes close to this VWAP of 50.80. But I still like it. It's just how many times is it going to bounce up here? So we did take it out 55 there, I believe it was, 53 on DraftKings. You're still in the money if you're with this on 30 cents, but I'm going to hold out. There's a level I could crack as well. I'm going to hold out for 54 now, Brendan.
Food for thought, but valuations, guys, are typically worth about as much as the paper they're written on. I was just reading a story of a private valuation that was done on DoorDash back in the summer that valued it at $46 per share. So there's that, but take it for what it's worth. It's now 155, 160 indication, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was 100% at the up from that at the original target range, that 90 to 95, and that became 102, and now you're looking at 150. So I don't know. I was always going to put like 5 sort of orders, and I feel like only my highest bid is going to get filled on this one, Sean. So we'll see what happens. Of course, we still have some time for it to open up.
The real winner is SoftBank, guys. SoftBank put in, I think it was $3 billion worth. SoftBank in 2018, they put money into DoorDash, guys, and they put it in at a $1.4 billion valuation. It's going to come out at like $70 billion valuation. So right there, you're going to get, well, we'll find out about the valuation depending on the price. But right there, let's just say it comes out at $40 billion. SoftBank, the monster winner there, 30x since September on their $3 billion investment. So I believe those numbers are pretty accurate, but SoftBank going to be the ultimate winner on this one for sure. And anybody in early, like the valuation's gone out of control. But remember though, they are a pandemic play. Square was down to $35 back in March, right? So what's up with that? $218 right now. So I'm not too worried. Just like Brendan said, valuations sometimes aren't worth anything other than that's the price you're in at. So you got to value your position when it comes. And look, guys, I'll show it up again here. We're still high. There's no way. I mean, I like to think that. Thank you for staying with us, but I don't know if this is going to happen in 10 minutes. Dash now, Brendan and Neil, 160 and AI 78. So, we initially thought it was 102. That's where it came out at. If you rewind it, this was 102 earlier. Now 160. Brendan came with 46 or whatever. But again, that's pre-pandemic, right? So let's wait to see.
I feel like I might short this at some point. I'm not the opening print, but I feel like if it even goes up from here, there's going to be a short on DoorDash today. I sort of threw it in the chat and take it for a grain of salt. But yeah, it was right after some positive Pfizer news that they decided they wanted to go public here. So let's see what happens there. You can sort of glean into that whatever you want. But this is getting rather spicy. It's not the only one. I'm still looking at AI at some point. That's going to open. It looks like it's still indicating there was at 75 last I checked, actually a little bit higher than that. I have an order to try and get some more CIDM, and I just missed getting some more of a Stitch Fix in front of 57.50. So again, not going to go too crazy here because 10 minutes left till the end of the show. But more importantly, DoorDash is going to be the hot fire one. You want to be have your attention in the right place, because if you're going to take shares in this, it is going to be very, very fast action off of the open. Quickly spot support if you're taking an opening position. Let it ride if it's there. Be quick to get out if it breaks, especially at some of these prices. Like if it opens at 160. And then like a 155 handle wants to go, there's no way you want to hold through that. It's probably going to get ugly below there.
Yeah, Rocket's still moving, guys. Yeah, you are hell right about that one. Okay, see, so I sort of thought, and I'm glad that you guys watched me trade DraftKings through there, and you're welcome again, but my order was at 52.80. We ripped right up to 52.80, and there we go. We would have got filled, so we actually miss out on our own 30-cent win there. We take out 53 cents. Now we're watching DraftKings go high side. Now we'll see it break through 53. Next up, 54. Why do we like 54? This is Wader Holding. Someone brought that up. I think that's a good play also on DraftKings, on DoorDash. But here comes DKNG. So let's call this up. I just want to use this for a 20-minute. Here it goes, $1 in the money now on DraftKings. So that's a good trade. Here is the longer-term spot. We do have 54 up here from the 30th. So if you're joining us for the first time, I think we can get to that. I'm hella long DraftKings, man. $35, $36. We'll find out where this wants to go now. But here goes DraftKings. My target 54. So we do have an order out for that one, and we'll wait on it to see if it's coming through. You wanted Rocky. Thank you again, guys. All the back-to-back knockouts here. Rocket knocking people out as well. Big trade there. Wow on that one. And DraftKings also another big banger there. So we're pretty happy with the way this day is going, guys.
Yeah, and 6 or 7 minutes to go here. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that we can be covering here. I do have just a couple of positions on, and now AI, now it was 78 was the actual price. I wanted to make sure I said that right for you guys, the indicated open, and we already talked about DoorDash. I want to go back to Stitch Fix. It's still continuing its sort of sideways action consolidation off the top, and it made a little bit of a pop here. And now instead of standing in front of the trend, I tried to catch it as it came back down. You can see I did miss. So I still have only my initial entry point. I'm trying to get some out in front of 56 for a buck, and then 55 remains a target down at VWAP to take the rest of it. Still have room to add. It's just I'm only going to catch it on the way down. I don't want to stand in front of the train on the way back up to 58 to get into the short. We'll see what happens with that AI. We actually don't have locates on that one, so if that's a high flyer and opens up crazy, I'm probably not going to be shorting it just because we can't. If there's some kind of crazy run on DoorDash that maybe opens at 160, still takes you to like a 170 and then starts to turn around, I'm going to be looking for the first major support level, whether it's the open price or a big bid, to short through that price, depending on what that might be. It looks like 160 is that open, so it could be that. Maybe it'll be higher, maybe it'll be lower. But you have to be nimble and adjust on the fly to any of that action. One more name, guys. AMC's right at $4. It's a bit of a shoot up and then came right back down. There is an obvious psychological level. It looks like a good breakdown trade, similar to what I did over here in CIDM. The actual low of the day, the close yesterday was $3.98, but that's splitting hairs. AMC through $4 just feels like a decent scalp trade as well. Might put that on in the afternoon. I know people have been looking at this one the last couple of days. I had one trade in it in the week. Might make it two if 4 even breaks.
I did want to, I mean, look, anyone, thank you to more new members here. Keith, thank you for joining. We do have a one-on-one, well, 4-on-1 with you guys next week on Monday. We're going to be taking live questions and answers from members for $5 a month. You support the show, and this is we're going to give that back twice, every second Monday. We're going to be doing that. And I just want to say thank you to D-Factor. I made it public as well for that awesome call on Rocket. You're welcome, guys, for that one. Yeah, so much hype on DoorDash. We know that, and we're not hype machines here. We're just giving it to you like it is. And then there goes DraftKings as well. How about some love for the DraftKings? We brought that to you. Here it goes, upside 53.50. Our target's 54. Here's $1.30 right now. So we belly danced this one up. We got this in our own PAs, and we got them right here. So nice little move up for DraftKings. Super excited. I probably will take some off, a little bit off anyways, in the personal account on this move. Nice little move, although 5% doesn't really seem like that much. We'll see though. Stops at 53.50 there. Target still 54. We'll wait on that one. But look at Rocket, guys. Still days high on the high side. Look at this call down here. I mean, I can't do anything more than that for myself anyways. Good call. Here we go. Someone made a call of 21.86. Again, I only have 10% left, so it's not no less, like 7% left. So I put an order at 21.86. Someone on the chat, I don't know who it is, if you remember who you are and you're still watching, raise your hand and I'll call you out, because I do remember that 21.86 call, and we may get that as the chart can't even keep up with this position. It's trying to go upside. So 21.86, beautiful call. I still wish we had the big stick on Rocket, but we're out of 93% of the position.
I just got more of a CIDM. I definitely love the rocket ship call. My attention is going to be in one place and one place alone, but I am watching Roku is trying to break down below that 322 mark. That could still roll over, but at the same time, Stitch Fix is starting to go, and I do have that one on. I don't want to do it. I don't want to take the same trade in both at the same time. When Dash is about to open, that's the only reason why I won't be in the breakdown in Stitch Fix. It means. Sorry, I will be in Stitch Fix and not in Roku. I am adding to my CIDM. Again, this is more of a penny stock, so not the hardest thing in the world to be able to deal with it, guys. So I saw someone asking about AQB. It wasn't on my radar. I will have a quick look at it when I get a chance, but I have to add it to my board. I was not looking at this all day long, so I don't want to just quickly jump in there, but I will give it a quick look while we're sort of wrapping things up here and give you my thoughts on it. It's only up like 10. Yeah, it's only up like 1% or 2% on the day, so not really anything that piqued my interest just yet here. Brennan, I know we're going to get out of here very quickly, but I don't know if we had any earnings on tap that are going to be of note before we get out of here. If we do, just let me know.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot, but Adobe is the big one that we have to watch out for coming. I believe it's aftermarket tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow morning for sure for Adobe, and then there was that Asana as well, ASN. Or ASA, I think it is, for Asana. But other than that, pretty small on the earnings for tonight and tomorrow morning, guys. I'm keeping my eyes down here on this price that is ever changing. That AI, guys, now 81 to 84 indication for AI, 165 to 170 now for DoorDash. So.
Man, I wish I was a lot richer. We could get into this, guys, earlier, but the rich keep on getting richer with some of these share offerings here early. And yeah, to be long 42 on AI or to be long 102 on the pricing of DoorDash, I mean, unbelievable. There may be some selling into these markets. Yes, thank you for bringing that up, guys. We just got that right there, guys. 21.86. So thank you so much. It's $1.06. We took $1.05. We took on Rocket there, and now we hold just a small amount of shares. We'll see what happens to the high side. I'm not even going to get out of this one. 21.50 is the spot to get out now. So ho hum, the least we could take right now. 75 cents. Thank you so much for Rocket, and thank you so much for this day as it just keeps on going. Apologize that right now, I'll show it to you one for the last time right now. AI and Dash, both $1 million. And Brennan just gave you the price targets for some of these. 85 right now, and Bill 65 right now on DoorDash. And to be long 102 would be awfully nice.
That is absolutely true. To be invested at, like we said, 46. Even better on that private round. So, look, there's one thing we're supposed to do before we get out of here, and you guys know my favorite one of these, and if you don't, I'll definitely tell you after Valeria has given you what national day it is.
Hey guys, thank you very much for joining us today and have a great rest of the trading day. We have almost 7,000 of viewers right now and not even 2,000 of likes. So guys, please don't leave without hitting thumbs up. And National Pastry Day, everyone. My favorite is croissant.
Ooh, I like croissants, but I am an apple fritter kind of guy. And that's always going to be my favorite. I see a bunch of good ones in there. I don't know if I see any fritters on that, but if there are, that's fantastic. That is a weird. Okay, so I got the fill on Stitch Fix. This didn't happen. That's not a real print. Okay, so I just got out for like an 80-cent win for some of Stitch Fix, and then this little wick up there looks like it was probably a dark pool print. Didn't come all the way back to 56.70. So we'll hang on to that one. It's just that's the idea. And of course, you know we're all waiting on DoorDash. Tomorrow is Airbnb. Will these be rocket ships to the upside? If I had to guess, I'd say tomorrow is a better shot than today's, but we'll see. Certainly we'll let you guys know how things are wrapped up with either of those names, whether it comes to AI or DoorDash. Both should be highly active, but this is getting crazy for the indicative open here. I'm probably going to be light on the opening print. I'll still probably take some DoorDash, but AI, off the radar for market on open. I think down the line, guys, Villa, you're doing a fantastic job today. As always, my man Sean Katina with the rocket ship trade. I don't know. That pun stinks. I'll come up with something better next time. And Brennan Wickens, I don't know how he's wearing a sweater because it's hot today, not cold. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and Brennan is the GOAT. See you tomorrow.